months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. With a front stall just north of the area, we'll keep humid conditions throughout the rest of the day today, and it will be very hot with highs reaching the mid to upper 90s. A few brief showers and storms are possible late in the day. We'll see similar heat on Friday.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 5 points. That's right, 5 points to 53,775.
Deep left corner of the end zone. Jalen Coker hauls it in for a touchdown.
Off the back iron.
Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Copeland jabs on him a couple of times. Step back three-pointer, left corner, swish.
One dribble out for Boozer for three. Big time! And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. A lot going on for a Thursday in August. Signed off the show yesterday, didn't know that there was perhaps at one time the best pass-catching tight end in the NFL coming to the Carolina Panthers. When we signed off yesterday, it wasn't an NFL game day. There's 6 preseason games today.
Let's go, all you degenerates out there.
Yeah. I almost said if you, like I wasn't a part of it. Maybe you throw a couple shekels on a few of these games. That's all I'm saying. Make it a little more interesting. You might care about it more than the players do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing, and it is time to get things started with, presented by Maynard Service Company, the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Again, Maynard Service Company presenting the Big 3 at 3. MaynardServices.com, M-A-Y-N-O-R, services.com, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric work. Number 1 is the Panthers have signed or have agreed to sign, and they're going through all the physicals and everything today. Darren Waller. That's a fascinating, when I saw this news, it was a real, like, I didn't celebrate, I wasn't bummed, it was kind of like a, huh.
Like, oh, really?
Didn't think about that at all. Like, it's not even like most signings ahead of time, you at least like let your mind wander there and you have an opinion. I did not even think of that as a possibility to bring Darren Waller in. I could go either way. I'm going to be honest. The reason why I say that, we're going to dissect this every which way, and also what it means for the tight ends on the roster and what it means for the offense and what it means for the coaching staff. I think this is a move that you don't make lightly. But the reason why I like it is the best version of Darren Waller, like the peak version of Raiders Darren Waller, is very similar to what I think that, like, exactly picture perfect what I think the Panthers offense needs. Just the other day, I can't remember if it was with you, Dennis, or if it was with Max, but I thought like the most fun conversation to have about the Panthers was trying to predict who the third leading rusher and third leading receiver would be. Because if you go third leading rusher, you go Chuba, you go Jonathan Brooks. Is it Bryce? Is there another running back that's on
A.J. Dillon.
Could be A.J. Dillon. Could be Trevor Etienne. Could be somebody that's not on the roster right now. If you wanted to get real funny with it, you could say Haynes King is a Taysom Hill package.
Let's go.
Like there's a lot of options there. And third receiver. If Darren Waller is healthy for the entirety of the season, there's your third leading receiver right there. It's a big if, and we'll talk about it. But they needed another playmaker, and if you were depending on it being Xavier Legette, I'm not going to feel bad for you if it doesn't work out. If you're depending on it being Jimmy Horn Jr. or Jasim Reed or even like a Jatavian Sanders or a Tommy Tremble, most of those have been played out and haven't worked for you. Darren Waller at his best is exactly what you need. Now, the reason why I might be out on it is he's 34 years old, and 2 years ago he was retired. Last year, his analytics are very good, but he got hurt. He hasn't played a full season in a long time.
Yeah, played 9 games last season.
Again, the advanced analytics are great, but this is a real. If it works out, it's genius. If it doesn't, we got our hopes up for seemingly like an obviously no reason in August. If he's hurt by the end of the first month of the season, I'm going to go, I feel real dumb for thinking about all the things he could do for the offense. But if he plays the whole year, I think it's right what the doctor ordered. The only thing I'll like big picture that obviously I had thought of beforehand is this is not somebody that is on pace for the window that the Panthers have. He is very much like hopefully good for this year, maybe 2. You don't expect anything from him beyond that, and I don't think the Panthers are going to be a Super Bowl contender in the next year or 2. So this is a get the offense going, get Bryce's confidence up, get the take a little pressure off of Teterow McMillan and those types of things. But this is not a hey, we're adding someone to the core, right? This is we need a stopgap until we can find the tight end that we will add to the core, specifically the big pass catching tight end. A role that I think many of us believe Jatavian Sanders was drafted to fill and maybe has had a hard time filling. I still think Tommy Tremble will be used a bunch. I still think Mitchell Evans has a role, but their roles are very different than what you'd ask a tight end like Darren Waller to do. We'll come back to this at 3:15. There's a lot of impact from Darren Waller joining the Carolina Panthers. Again, who would have thought? That is number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
6 preseason games tonight. NFL on the field, and I like the Hall of Fame game.
Let's go.
It's good just to just to keep you going long enough. This is the start of the preseason.
Yeah, this is week 1 preseason. Last week 0 preseason.
This is the real deal. If you're wondering which games are on, Detroit at Cincinnati, Green Bay at Pittsburgh, Indianapolis at New England, Arizona at Vegas, LA Chargers at Houston, and Tennessee at San Francisco. I will say if we were ranking for which ones I wanted to watch the most, it would have been Arizona at Houston. Because, one, Fernando Mendoza, right? And he's going to play. Kirk Cousins is not, so I wanted to see what the top overall pick would do. But I also, I want to see Carson Beck play more, but that actually was taken off our hands today. Apparently, he injured his ribs in the Hall of Fame game, and he was playing through it at practice because you feel a little bit more comfortable with a quarterback playing through something at practice when they can't get hit. But they're not going to play him tonight in the preseason game 1. Just to be cautious. So we're not going to see if Carson Beck is actually that dude or if the defensive backs for the Carolina Panthers that were playing against him were actually making it that easy in the Hall of Fame game, at least not yet.
So the 2 quarterbacks that balled out in the Hall of Fame game, neither of them are playing this weekend.
They both got hurt in that game.
Go out on high notes, baby. Let's go.
You want to talk about adrenaline of your first NFL action? They were both hurt and just didn't know it and kept playing well. Or kept celebrating in Haynes King's case and gave all the post-game interviews. But there's still, you look around for Tennessee, you probably are going to see Carnell Tate for the first time in an NFL jersey, top 5 pick at wide receiver. Ashton Genty may get some carries. If not, Mike Washington is a running back out of Arkansas is kind of a beast. Jordan Love is going to play for Green Bay, which I thought was fascinating because if you remember this time last year, he hurt his thumb in the first preseason game and didn't do anything until week 1 of the regular season. But they're not second-guessing that decision last year. They're doubling down on it. So he's going to get some play at Pittsburgh today. And it's football. Even when it's bad, it's still good. This will not be the best football we watch all year tonight. I promise you, it will not be the best football we watch all year. But pretty good chance it'll be the best football we've watched in 3 months.
I've seen, but based off what we saw last week, like the Hall of Fame game, like the game last week, I've seen way worse playoff games than what we saw last week.
If that was the bar, if everybody is chasing the entertainment value of the Hall of Fame game, I'm going to set some like DVRs and things. I'm going to set some recordings so I can kind of watch all 6 at once. 6 Thursday night games. Interesting decision, but 6 Thursday night games. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
The FedEx St. Jude Championship is going on as we speak. This is speaking of playoffs, the playoffs of the PGA Tour. And in years past, I've done the updating of our local golfers, meaning the players that played their college golf at Duke, UNC, State, Wake. And then you get to the playoffs, which is a significantly limited field. Top 70 make the first I believe it's top 70, make the first event. Yes, top 70 golfers make the first event, which is the St. Jude being played right now. And sometimes it's like, well, we can update you on the 2 local golfers that are still playing in the St. Jude. Not today. Updating you on the golfers with ties to North Carolina. Alex Smalley played at Duke. He's in the clubhouse, 2 under par, tied for 11th. Ryan Gerard played at UNC, as well as Alex Fitzpatrick played at Wake Forest, as well as Akshay Bhatia, who calls the Triangle home. Residents. Cameron Young, who played at Wake Forest. They're all tied for 36th, even par. 3 of them are still out there on the course, so they can move up and down, obviously. JT Poston played at Western Carolina. JT the Postman. Tied for 49th, 1 over par. Ben Griffin and Michael Brennan. Brennan off his win last week at the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro. Ben Griffin played for UNC. Michael Brennan played for Wake. They're tied 62nd, so they've got some work to do, +3. But that's a good group. There's only 70 that make it. And we got, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you take out Akshay Bhatia, because he didn't play at one of the local colleges, he just lives in the area, 7 of 70, 1/10, played their college golf in the state of North Carolina that are in the playoffs for the FedEx Cup on the PGA Tour. It's pretty darn good. If you're wondering who the leaders are, there's a 3-way tie at the top. Michael Thorbjornsen, Jordan Spieth, and Kurt Kitayama are all at the top, 5 under par, but there is a lot of golf left to play. That's all taking place in Memphis, by the way. And you got to advance. The field gets smaller each week from this point forward until the Tour Championship. Let's go local, guys. That's what I say. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was the Big 3 at 3, presented by Maynard Service Company, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Before we move on, I want to let everybody know, and I will remind you of this again, tomorrow's show for us will be at the Jamboree, high school OT Jamboree, high school football getting started. So we're talking about preseason football. We're talking about getting the first looks at a lot of players. We're going to be out there getting my eyeballs first looks on some of the top recruits in the area. So
Wake Forest High School, by the way.
Correct. Last week was at Wake Med Soccer Park. This week, Wake Forest High School. I mean, who doesn't love high school football?
If you're interested in attending, go to highschoolot.com. Like, because in all honesty, get your ticket in advance. It's going to be a very full place. And hydrate. You can buy it ahead of time. So even if you go there and you're trying to buy them, and if they do have tickets, you don't want to wait in those lines. You just want to be the fast pass. You just want to roll through with your phone, swipe, and get on in there. So if you are going, find us, say hi. We'll be out there hanging out and looking forward to a great day of high school football. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Darren Waller, Carolina Panther. What does that do for the offense? Stick around.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products, so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come in, throw it in, and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Tunga Bailoa! Got his man! Touchdown! Waller!
Zone between two players. Is anybody going to pick him up? This is just pitch and catch, and this is a defense that is bewildered.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So, I got so excited talking about Darren Waller's addition to the Carolina Panthers that I did forget to let you all know on a separate piece of news that came out of Carolina Panthers training camp today, which is Chuba Hubbard's dealing with a hammy. Week to week is how they're describing it. Not day to day, week to week. So the presumed starting running back for the Panthers, hamstring, they go quiet, they never go away. Do everything you possibly can to have him ready for week one. But also, in the meantime, that means Jonathan Brooks is full steam ahead, runway wide open for liftoff. He gets to feel what it would be like to be a real workhorse first-team running back in the NFL, at least in practice. For the next couple of weeks, and he'll get a chance to show everybody he will play on Saturday in Buffalo. So we'll see Jonathan Brooks with the ones, I would assume, for as long as the ones are in there.
Dave Canales did say today that HN, my apologies, HN's going to work in there basically what Jonathan Brooks' role. Brooks is going to take on Chuba Hubbard's role, so they're going to rotate in a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to overwork him too much, but, I mean, it's going to be Jonathan Brooks and then HN kind of coming in, giving him some relief those first few drives.
All I would say there is don't forget exactly what happened last year when Chuba got a little banged up. Bigger opportunity for Rico Dowdle. Rico grabbed that job and ran with it for 2 months before even a healthy Chuba could get back there and figure it out. So there's an opportunity for Jonathan Brooks there. And there's an opportunity for HN and there's an opportunity for A.J. Dillon, right? If everybody gets bumped up one, it's a little more opportunity than they were expecting. And obviously you want Chuba to get back and be as healthy as possible. But really the news of the day, Darren Waller, tight end, in name only, big wide receiver in actual impact, joining the Carolina Panthers. Darren Waller, few things. One, advanced analytics last year, lovely. He was 10th amongst all tight ends. There were 49 tight ends that had at least 30 targets last year. He was 10th in targets per route. He was 8th in yards per route. When you look at the rate statistics, he was very, very good. What I mean by rate is raw totals aren't going to be there, right? He's not going to be top 10 in receiving yards amongst tight ends because he just didn't play enough. He got hurt, played essentially half a season. But if you look at per route, per play, per target, he's pretty good. Still had a little juice, which is the exciting part of adding Darren Waller. Another exciting part of adding Darren Waller is familiarity, right? He played under Let me make sure I get all the title rights, all of the right titles. Played under Panthers associate head coach Darrell Bevell in Miami last season, where Bevell was the passing game coordinator for the Dolphins. As I said, Darren Waller is a big wide receiver. He's a tight end in name, but if a pass game coordinator or a run game coordinator is like one of them is advocating to sign Darren Waller, it's the pass game coordinator, right? The run game coordinator is not going, we need Darren Waller, because that's just not what he does. He doesn't, he's not an inline blocking tight end. So if there is like a me connecting dots optimism, Darrell Bevell sitting in offensive meetings, they keep going, we need somebody that can do this. We need somebody that can fit this role. We need somebody that can do that. He then goes, I know somebody, right? It's a puzzle piece thing. Darren Waller, he's available, and he was really good for us last year. He can do that. I know firsthand he can do what you're asking. Then you end up joining the team. I do think Darren Waller is at the point of his career, though, where we all don't realize how long ago it's been since we've truly seen the Darren Waller in our brains, I think is most likely 2020 Raiders Darren Waller. And then you do like, wait a second, 2020. Yeah, right? Like you're telling me the high school seniors were 7th graders? Like you're like it's 2020. You're going 6 years back? Yeah, I am. 2019, 1,150 or 1,145 yards. Bananas. The next year, even better. More catches, 1,196 yards, more touchdowns. 2021 is when the injury started, played 11 games, still had a ton of yards for that total. Following year was his last year in Vegas, 2022, had under 400 yards, hurt, played about half a season. I don't know if anybody remembers his year with the New York Giants. He was there for a year in 2023.
I think Giants fans also forget that season. It's okay.
He then retired for 2024, had a little bit of a rap career, or tried to. Came back last year, that's 2025 for Miami, and again, did not play a ton. The rate statistics were good, but it's been a while since we saw the really, really good version of Darren Waller, to the point where I don't think our expectations for the offense should expect, 80% of what our mind is telling us is possible. The good news is the version of Darren Waller that we remember, that those 2 years with the Raiders, you only need 60% of that player to have a huge impact on what the Carolina Panthers are trying to do. You don't need to have 1,100 yards, number one option, feed the ball. He had 19 targets in one game for the Raiders. You don't need that guy. You need 60% of it. Dave Canales, the head coach, spoke to the media today, and he explained why they're bringing in Darren Waller.
Just watching him over the years, he had a fantastic game here when they came last season and made some big plays against us. Again, just on brand with Dan and I, just looking for ways to challenge our roster, challenge our rooms, bring different types of talent into the rooms to really challenge the group and see what we have there. And we felt like it was a good fit. There was a lot of conversations back and forth about, just the vision and the group that he's coming into. So felt comfortable about that, found an agreement, and then we'll bring him in and do the physical and all that stuff shortly.
There is a tried and true timeline of a player joining a team. They have a great game against you. They're available that offseason, and you go get them. Matter of fact, the game that he had against Carolina, where it was 5 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown, that was to me like Darren Waller, that's the game that made me go like, is he available in fantasy? I should go pick this guy up. Because his first game was against the Jets, and he had 2 touchdowns, and that's where the excitement was there. But I think he might have had 2 catches. It was a very low volume, high highlight game. The next game where he put together a more complete game, which was against Carolina, made me go like, oh, he might be back. This might be something. He had an up and down season from that point forward, but Carolina obviously remembers the 78 yards and a touchdown against them, and they brought him in. Makes sense. That's a tried and true timeline. Whoever you have your best games against always wants to bring you in to play for them next time.
DJ Chark, 2022 against the Carolina Panthers, had a great day. Who was on the roster in 2023 for the Carolina Panthers? DJ Chark.
It happens way more often than you'd think. Dave Canales was then asked what he likes about Waller's skill set, which is kind of what we're discussing here. So let's hear it from Dave Canales.
Really just the route craft. I remember evaluating him as a wideout coming out of Georgia Tech and then making the transition to tight end. It took him a couple of years to settle into the position, but he improved his route craft. He's fast. He's 6'6.5". So he really creates a dynamic possibility. And again, this is a competition. He knows that. He understands that's part of this deal and how we're trying to challenge our roster. So talked to him last night, and he's fired up to come here and to meet the guys.
I love that he is a great route technician. The thing I love most about Darren Waller is pure catch radius. He is gigantic. And because of that, he's kind of open even when he's not, which I think is important for Bryce. To have, he's not going to be the number one option on a lot of routes, right? You're still going to want to make sure you're taking care of the two wide receivers. But if you get to him and you're feeling pressure, there's almost always a place you can throw it, right? Guarded well, just put it on the opposite shoulder, foot or two off his body, and he can go get it, and a lot of times the defender can't because his arms are long and his body control is insane. Could be a red zone threat as well. Put him and Tedero McMillan out there. You've got some lob threats. You got some alley-oop threats out there.
That's what I said on Panthers Playbook with Chris Lee. I said, this guy, if he just has a role that inside the red zone, you can be that. Like you said, 6'6". I said, just throw the ball to the crossbar of the goalpost and let Darren Waller just go jump up and grab it. That's all he needs to be. He doesn't have to be someone that, like you said, gets 10 targets in a game. He doesn't have to be that. But if he could be a red zone threat, for it.
Due to some availability stuff and some off-the-field stuff that Darren Waller dealt with in his career, he's going to end up, for me, one of the biggest what-ifs. He could have been a 10,000 receiving yard tight end if he, didn't go through what he went through, and that's a different conversation. But I do think he could have, if you're looking for a similar, the very last few seasons of Jimmy Graham, he wasn't putting up the, 1,200 yards. He wasn't doing any of that. He was, however, still very good in the red zone, still had that basketball player's rebounding identity. Darren Waller could have some late career Jimmy Graham impact, which there's still a role for. It is not, and we'll have this conversation later in the show, it is not great for probably Jatavian Sanders. It is not great for some other tight ends on the roster, but for him, if he can stay healthy, there's a chance to be a real contributor with the Carolina Panthers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Calci. We've been talking about it for a long time. The season hasn't quite kicked off yet, but everyone's already making predictions. Who's going to win the division? Who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to win the awards? Who's going to hold the trophy at season's end? On Calci, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. If you think Tedero McMillan's going to be a great red zone threat, you can go trade on his ability to lead the NFL in receiving touchdowns. If he does that, a $100 trade placed right now would pay out over $1,000. Trading at less than 1%. Over $1,000 if it happens. That's Tedero McMillan if he leads the NFL in touchdowns, receiving. And there's plenty of other things that you can go trade on, everything that you can think of, essentially. On Calci, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position, trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Calci. If you're truly not superstitious at all, you can actually go trade on players to play in every game. Avoid injuries and be on the field every game. And if it happens, you'll get the payout. That's a true if you're not superstitious. I'm not superstitious. I don't even know if I'm willing to do that one. KALSHI, Calci, trade on anything. Download the Calci app and use code TIMD, TIMD, to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. 18 plus only. Restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory gambling problem. Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Up next, here on The Drive, we get to some college sports. We highlight them with the Dean's List. Stick around.
Carolina football tickets are on sale now. The 2026 schedule is loaded with great games against Notre Dame, Syracuse, Miami, Louisville, NC State, and the home opener against East Tennessee State on September 12th. Experience Chapel Hill on game days, including the Chapel Thrill Concert Series. This year's pregame performers include Chase Rice, Neon Trees, Waka Flocka, and Shaquille O'Neal. Don't miss out on the 100th season of Carolina football in Kenan Stadium. To order your 2026 Carolina football tickets now, visit GoHeels.com.
Experience legendary craftsmanship with an Omega timepiece. From the iconic Speedmaster that journeyed to the moon to the sleek Seamaster made famous by the world's most stylish spy, Omega watches are built for precision, adventure, and timeless elegance. At Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District, explore a curated selection of Omega timepieces that speak to your legacy. Whether you're starting a collection or adding your next chapter, find your perfect fit at Bailey's, voted best jeweler. Visit baileybox.com to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com.
And respond live. So be ready for it. And the only way you can be ready for it, or participate, I should say, is to go to our YouTube, subscribe, comment, and get in the mix. In the meantime, as you know, if you're a frequent listener, it's time for the Dean's List. This is where we highlight those directly or indirectly related to college sports. We love college sports here in the area. The mecca of college sports, the Triangle in North Carolina. We'll start it with some auto entries, right? If you're on a national award watch list, you win a national award, you make a national award semifinal list, we automatically put you on the Dean's List for that day. The Butkus Award put out their watch list earlier today, presented annually to the nation's top collegiate linebacker. And 2 from the teams that we cover have made their way onto the Butkus Award watch list, the preseason watch list. First, Luke Murgott, senior linebacker for Duke. He is a player that made a few game-sealing interceptions in pretty big games at the end of last year, one in the ACC Championship, one in their bowl game. He also is a proud Stephen Decatur Seahawk, which is also the high school I went to. So way to go, Luke. He is on the Butkus Award watch list. His mom was my math teacher. And also Peyton Seelman, linebacker for North Carolina. The Tar Heels is on the list. Which is a little interesting. He was at Richmond last year, one of the Patriot League all-conference selections. He's transferred to North Carolina and jumps right onto the Butkus Award watch list. Tackling machine, had 120 tackles last year. If you can translate that directly to the ACC from the Patriot League, it'll be pretty darn important for the Carolina Tar Heels.
Well, I need to go look up the stats like we talked about in the last segment, talking about Darren Waller and the stat line he put up last year against the Carolina Panthers. Well, now he's with the Carolina Panthers.
You're right.
UNC played Richmond last season. I got to look and see what this guy's stat line was. He clearly made some level of impression.
That's actually a great point, and I might be able to get there quick. No. Either way, he made the list. So watch list, you're an auto entry. Congratulations to both of you. Dean's List.
I'll find that stat line. You give me a moment. You keep going. I'll find it.
Speaking of I hate this because I can't even do the local guys because there weren't any. ESPN put out their college football All-American teams. I'm gonna be a diehard ACC homer. There's only 3 on the first team from the ACC in total, so they're gonna make the list. It's all-purpose player Malachi Toney, Miami. It's defensive end Ahmad Moten, senior, Miami. And it's linebacker Sammy Brown, Clemson. That's it. For the preseason ESPN All-American first team, 2 guys from Miami, 1 from Clemson, and that's it. It seems light if Miami was in the national championship last year. It seems light. They did have a second teamer, another Miami player, Mark Fletcher, the running back. Second team ESPN All-American. But I think we could have fit a few more, ESPN. But the guys that did make it and do represent the ACC, they're on the Dean's List. Dennis, you have anything to report back for us?
I do. So you're talking about the young man for North Carolina now, Peyton Seelman, who played at Richmond last year.
Correct.
On the Buckus Ward watch list. Against UNC last year. Led all Richmond Spiders with 9 tackles. Also had a quarterback hit. That's an off-ball line.
Must look good on film.
Must look good on film. He actually led the entire game in tackles.
There you go.
See?
One guy doing all the work. Little help. He's on the Buckus Ward watch list, which is why we brought him up. Do you have anyone you'd like to add to the Dean's List, Dennis?
I don't, actually.
All right. Well, I'll put a name that you're definitely aware of.
Okay.
Jermaine Pratt is on the Dean's List.
Yeah.
So NFL linebacker, has been in the NFL, has had some really big statistical seasons. Currently waiting for his next opportunity in the NFL.
Played at NC State.
Played at NC State, which is...
Okay,
wait a second.
Sorry.
So he's waiting for his next opportunity in the NFL, which is not why he's on the Dean's List. But I do love it when you don't just like maybe wallow or pout or why is nobody calling? He's at NC State camp. He is, in the meantime, serving as a volunteer assistant with NC State's linebackers in fall camp, which is really, I think, killing the saying is 2 birds with 1 stone. I think that's killing like 4 birds with 1 stone. You're staying in the game, right? So you're up every day. You have access to workout facilities. B, you're passing along wisdom to your alma mater, right? So you're helping out your team. 3, and I know that I'm counting in letters and numbers, you could be potentially setting yourself up for experience for your career post-playing, right? Even if somebody calls and you end up, playing this year in the NFL, it doesn't last forever. If you want to go into coaching or if you just want to know if you like coaching, this experience can help out. And then the last way that I think this is really helping him is it makes it so you're not just sitting around staring at your phone all day waiting for your agent to call.
Yeah.
You get the energy of the players and you get to be a part of it, and also you kind of distract yourself. So I think Pratt's doing it the right way. I think he's doing it the right way.
So just to let you know, last season he played for 2 teams, began the season in Vegas, got traded, eventually moved over to Indianapolis with the Colts. Last year, so he played 16 games last year, still racked up 126 tackles total combined, which is the second most in his career. He had 67 solo tackles, which was the second most in his career. 6 tackles for loss, which is the second most of his career. He also had an interception, also had 2 forced fumble, had 2 fumble recoveries. He's 30 years old. This guy's still productive. Who needs an off-ball linebacker next to Devin Lloyd? Carolina Panthers. He was from the state of North Carolina. Jermaine Pratt.
Who's right around the corner. He's in Raleigh right now.
Right down the road.
Maybe they're like, stay there, do the volunteer thing. When we need you, we'll call you, but also come with intel on who's good. And
yeah.
Is CJ Bailey legit? Like, let's get to the bottom of it. It could also be he's being picky, right? Sometimes you see veterans maybe don't like they've been offered, but they don't like the roles on those teams, and they want to wait to see if there's an injury or wait till a contender calls. Sometimes he's being picky. I'm not saying that his phone isn't ringing. But still, I still love the idea of while you're waiting for the next opportunity, you go volunteer and coach and be a part of it. So he's on the Dean's List. Let's see. Yeah, we got time for one more quick one. How about Faison Brandon? Obviously,
Grimsley High School?
Grimsley High School, Greensboro. He is in college now, not a local team, Tennessee Volunteers. But he made the Athletics list of most impactful expected freshmen.
Okay.
The Volunteers, I'm just going to read the write-up. He's a 5-star, super recruit, all that kind of stuff. The Volunteers were unable to secure a veteran quarterback in the transfer portal, giving the 5-star prospect from Greensboro, North Carolina, a legitimate shot to play as a freshman. Still needs to beat out redshirt freshman George McIntyre for the starting job. But 5-star receiver TK Keys has said, you can hear the ball sizzling when Brandon throws it. As a former quarterback, that's a pretty good compliment.
How about that sizzle?
Remember the old Vortexes used to have the whistles on the side?
Yes.
If you can do that with a non-vortex, you're throwing it. So
launch those things.
Those were so much fun. You could catch it by the tail. So Faison makes it. There you go. Dean's List dismissed. Every year at this time, we have the annual NC State football conversation. Is this the year they win 10 games? Haven't done it under Dave Doeren. I've only done it once in program history. Is this the year they win 10 or more games? Dave Doeren was being asked essentially that same question, and he cut off the question asker. What did he interrupt him with? Stick around to find out.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's bow time.
Leaves, water, debris. Hi, this is Holly with Roofworks. There are a lot of things that can wreak havoc on your commercial property, and we are proud to be there for our dedicated customers that depend on us. From helping to design and build the roof for new construction, to maintenance, repair, and replacements, we've got the experience that you can count on. At Roofworks, we don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. Visit us at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This is, if there ever is an opportunity where my wife and I do like a tag team karaoke, that's our song. Only we invert it. I do the Rihanna part. She does the Eminem part.
That's the way to do it.
People never see it coming. They see a white guy walk into the stage for an Eminem song. They're like, oh, here we go. He's lose yourself guy. All right, big Eminem fan. And then I hit him with the Rihanna portion. Flips everybody up. Haven't done it in a while, though. One time we did it. There's a place in Orlando where my parents live where you get a live band for karaoke.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I need to know about this place. I got to take my fiance.
It's really fun, except we got there kind of early because we were told you have to get there early to like get your name down and actually get on stage. So we were one of the first people that did it, and we had karaoke energy, right? Like, we're not very good. We're just up here to have a good time. A lot of people go there because they think they're like going to get a record contract, and they like playing with a full band supporting them. And we quickly learned, like, oh, this is – I don't know if everybody's here to laugh at people at karaoke like you normally are and have a good time. Some were up there like, I'm living a dream here. Let's hit it in the note of C sharp, please. I'm like, I just sang Rihanna while my wife did Eminem.
By the way, our question for numbers game
Yep.
should be, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Karaoke song's a good one. Think of your answer right now, Dennis. Think of it. Don't tell us. We'll come back to it later. Right now, we have to talk a little NC State football. So there is I would assume if you are in the NC State football program, it is both like warranted and annoying as heck. Every year you have to be asked, are you going to win 10 games? Can you finally win 10 games? You know, Dave Doeren hasn't won 10 games at NC State. 10 games. It's like this ceiling, this barrier, 10 games. And most years they kind of just hit it with the coach speak, right? Like, we're taking it one game at a time. We're focusing on one game. We want what's best for the program. You know, we like our squad, all that kind of stuff. Which is why I was kind of, I don't want to say stopped in my tracks, but I was definitely like, oh, okay. I see what's going on here. When the ACC Network went on their tour and stopped in Raleigh for NC State's training camp, our friend Wes Durham was there, Mark Rick was there, and they were talking with Dave Doeren. And, Dave Doeren cut off the question about 10 wins, and you can hear the audio for yourself right here.
Hands down, one of the most together, not offense, defense team that I've had in a long time. And so just watching them compete, trying to beat each other competitively, and then also understanding that I need this guy to be with me for the season on the other side of the ball, keeping each other up and safe. Like, the art of practice is, there's so many kids that don't understand how to practice, and you have to teach them that. And this team has embraced playing hard, tough, and together. And that's something for a coach. You go to practice, and you know that you're going to get the best out of them.
If you guys win 10 or more, no, I'm serious. It's the
win.
Win. That's right.
It's when we win 10.
And I think this year's the year. I really do. I think it's the year. But I know it's important to everybody here because it means more than likely a shot at the championship and getting into the playoff. But how important is that minimum of 10 wins for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's something since I've gotten here I've wanted to do. It's happened once in school history, right? And the legacy I want to have, I want my staff and this group of young men to have together is breaking through, and crossing over boundaries we haven't, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Now, if you couldn't hear the exact cutoff, Mark Rick says, if this is the year you win 10 games, and as people start laughing, Dave Doeren kind of seriously goes, when, not if, right? He's saying when we win 10 games. And then you get into the conversation about why and how important it is and everything else. That's pretty serious. And what I mean is, like, the confidence there is pretty serious. The Dave Doeren is very much projecting, and I don't know if this is intentional, and I think many are reading it the same way, projecting I know something you all don't know. This team has it. And to know it in the moment, like to be at training camp. I've been a part of good teams. I've been a part of bad teams. And usually once you're good, you look back and go, you know, it did feel different in training camp. Like we were more together. he's obviously been at it a while. He's been coaching for a long time, in the game of football for even longer. Maybe he's just gotten really good with the thermometer and he knows. But if you get that gut feeling so aggressively that you can be on national television saying when, that's pretty good. Also, I would say this. Perhaps he understands that it's kind of make or break, right? You look at the schedule, you look at a few other things, and it's like, hey, this year we better get there. If not now, when? So he's just trying to almost, like accountability factor, right? I know people that have said, like, I'm going to post publicly that I'm going to lose 30 pounds, and they put it out on their social media just because it's like, once I put it out there, I don't want to be embarrassed when I see people and I haven't lost the weight. Like, I'm trying to, put it out there in the world. Maybe he's just putting it out there for everybody. Let's set the standard, set the bar. But in the interest of not just being hey, let's bring up the conversation, let's try to answer the question. How about this? Before the show, we decided when we play the audio of Dave Doeren saying when, we would ask the question of what are 2 reasons why he is right? 2 reasons why Dave Doeren and the NC State Wolfpack will win 10 or more games, and 2 reasons why he might end up wrong, why they won't win 10 or more games, so 9 or less. Dennis, do we want to start with the good, the yeses or the nos?
Let's start with the yes.
All right, 2 reasons why they will win 10 or more games. I think it took me a tenth as long to do the wills versus the won'ts. Number 1 is C.J. Bailey, right? And I've talked with a whole bunch of people about him. If it's not universal, it's pretty darn close that guy is somebody that is getting ready for a breakout season and he's ready for his close-up. Talking about the quarterback. The second is the schedule. And I'm a little less into it as everybody else because I acknowledge in the transfer portal world, teams that you expect to be bad can surprise you. Teams that you expect to be good can fall apart. But if you look at their schedule and the teams that through no work of their own, right, just in their ACC schedule, the teams that they avoid this year, there's no reason why, even if you stumble, you don't have plenty of opportunities to have a 10-win season, right? There's no Clemson. There's no Miami. There's no SMU. There's a lot of opportunities for wins, especially if you start the season well. They have Virginia to open the season. They have Vanderbilt in their 3rd game, and they have Louisville at home in their 5th game. So that's all in the first 5 games of the year. If you start well, you win 1 or 2 of those, maybe 2 or 3 of those, 10 wins becomes expected. Now, if you lose all 3 of those, then you're in a typical NC State season, which is you start rough, you're 2-3, everybody's out, you storm from behind, you win 8 or 9 games on the year, and you go into next year asking, is this the year they can finally win 10? They have to start hot, but the schedule is not intimidating. Now, for 2 reasons why they won't win 10 games, 2 reasons why people might be playing that clip of Dave Doeren at the end of the year as a ha ha ha, I dunked on you clip. First is pass rush. Last year, I think it was the number 1 thing that held them back. They were 107th in the nation with just 20 sacks last year. 17.5 of those were from players that aren't on the roster anymore, right? Graduated, transfer, whatever. That's a rough spot to be in a era where if you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, you're going to get torn up, right? I think some of the things they said last year about the secondary, right? The secondary caught a lot of heat. I think some of it was, well, if you give any quarterback 7 seconds, they'll find somebody open. The pass rush to me has to be better. And then the second reason why they will not win 10 games, if they don't, is they're replacing essentially everybody in the pass catching game. There's some that you're excited about as far as players stepping into bigger roles or like a JoJo Trader coming in the transfer portal and a few others. But it'll never be easy when you look at, from last year, stud tight end Justin Jolie, a whole mess of wide receivers that have gone elsewhere, Terrell Anderson, USC, Noah Rogers, Alabama, Wesley Grimes, I believe, is on the preseason roster of the Niners, Hollywood Smothers at running back. He's at Texas. Those are your 5 leading pass catchers from last year. All gone. That's very difficult to to replace. Even if you have players that you are excited about stepping in, that's very difficult to replace. So, especially with what I said, their schedule being a little front heavy, there's no time to get used to everybody being out there or to figure out who's going to play what role. You pretty much need that week 1 or week 0, I guess would be the better way to say it, against Virginia. And a little bit of a side news. So there's 2 reasons they will, 2 reasons they won't. Now for some side news. NC State has added Jamel Johnson back to their roster, a player that was on the team last year, had 27 tackles and 5 passes defensed, but he is benefiting from, trying to utilize, I don't know what the wording is, the court rulings on 5th-year eligibility for the class of 2022 recruiting, so the high school class of 2022. Jamel Johnson being added to the roster, so getting a little more experienced in the defensive backfield in the middle of August as they play through camp.
I know Dave Doeren said that they weren't going to add just for the sake of adding. Like, if someone could actually help us, or at least they feel that way, they would add that person.
I honestly don't know if there's a team in the country that wouldn't add a experienced defensive back. For real. If somebody that's already played on your roster knows the culture, like, you're not risking upending anything. It's an opportunity, and they're taking it with Jamel Johnson back on the roster. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, nearing 4 o'clock, meaning nearing football at 4 time. So stick around, football at 4, and some bad news for perhaps somebody on the Panthers. Stick around.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. We do it all. In fact, we see patients within 48 hours for everything from sports injuries, spine care, and joint replacement to minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, pediatrics, and more. Visit us today at wakemed.org and get back your life.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. With a front stall just north of the area, we'll keep humid conditions throughout the rest of the day today, and it will be very hot with highs reaching the mid to upper 90s. A few brief showers and storms are possible late in the day. We'll see similar heat on Friday.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 71 points to 53,841.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 is brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. There's a saying in the NFL that you can't judge a draft until 3 years into the future. It's said all the time. Right, a draft happens. What does everybody do? They put out their draft grades. This team A+, this team D-, this team whatever. And then somebody who thinks they're like big-brained can't judge a draft class for 3 years at least. Heck, you might not be able, like, DeJon Stribling was like the worst pick in the world, right? He was the first pick of the second round by the Niners, and everyone unanimously went too early. Apparently he's been balling out at camp, and everyone's pretending like they didn't say that was an awful pick. And now he might be one of the top 2 wide receivers on a Shanahan offense, and everyone's like, hey, look at that. Maybe we did move too quick. So basically what I'm saying is, if you believe the 3-year rule, this year is the last chance for the class of 2024 to change grades, right? This is the last class last time for the draft class of 2024 to significantly move around, because then we're okay. Then we've seen enough to give vibes. So who for the Carolina Panthers has the most work to do? I'm going to bring up the entire 2024 class. They have 1 pick in each round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Xavier Legette, they traded into the first round to draft right at pick number 32. So first round, I just mentioned him, Xavier Legette, 32nd pick. Second round, Jonathan Brooks, running back. Third round, Trevin Wallace, linebacker. Fourth round, Jatavian Sanders, tight end. Fifth round, Shaw Smith-Wade, defensive back. Sixth, Jaden Crumedy, defensive tackle. Seventh, Michael Barrett, linebacker. We're going to obviously focus on like the mid and early rounds, because I think if you expect much of anything from 6 and 7, you hope for the best, but it's not like, oh, you're a bust. You didn't make the roster for 3 years and you were the last pick of the 6th round. Like, that's not fair. Xavier Legette, definition of first-round picks get 9 lives. If Xavier Legette were a third-round pick or beyond, I think by this point they may have already moved on from him. But because he's a first-round pick and because he has the physical abilities that make you a first-round pick, he'll get one more chance. And the Chris Brazzell injury maybe gives him even more of a chance to try to make this look good. But if we were assigning, incomplete grades, it doesn't look great. It doesn't. Maybe he's saved by this, though, Dennis. The 2024 NFL draft had a run on wide receivers right there in the portion of the draft where Xavier Legette was taken.
Yeah, there's 4 straight receivers picked.
Not many of them have panned out. If you're looking right at the end, right, Xavier Worthy, pick 28, hasn't done much. You go to pick 31, Ricky Pearsall. He's looking at missing this whole year potentially with the knee that held him out for a bunch of last year not being good enough.
I think they actually did say he's out for the year.
Did they make it official? I know they were discussing it. Then Xavier Legette, Keon Coleman with Buffalo, pick 33. Again, a player that had high expectations, hasn't really done much. Ladd McConkey with the Chargers, best of the bunch of that group. Mm-hmm. Still showing some potential. Jalen Polk, he's already donezo with New England. You keep it rolling. Adonai Mitchell, already donezo with the team that he was drafted by, Indianapolis Colts. He's on the Jets now. There's a lot there. So Xavier Legette would get a low grade, but if you're grading on a curve, not as bad as you think. Right, he moves into like average for the people that he was drafted around. Jonathan Brooks, tough to say, hasn't played. He's been hurt the whole time. We'll start grading him when we start seeing him play football. Here's the interesting ones. Round 3, Trevin Wallace. Round 4, Jatavian Sanders. The last week has been rough for these two. Trevin Wallace, who many of us assumed would be at least like firm penciled, maybe not ink, but firm pencil that you're thinking you're not going to erase into the starting lineup. Turns out he played in the Hall of Fame game, and then it's confirmed he's in a battle with Claudin Charles for that other off-ball linebacker position. And I've seen some insiders even do like the, who's it going to be, Charles or Wallace? and they almost pick option C and say someone who's not even on the roster yet. Like they might have to go veteran immediate into starting lineup. We brought it up earlier, maybe a Jermaine Pratt who's volunteering as assistant for the NC State Wolfpack. So the last week has not been great for Trevin Wallace. Jatavian Sanders, pass-catching, athletic tight end, a player who I was very high on coming out of Texas, the first pick of the 4th round in the 2024 draft. They just signed Darren Waller. I don't know if there is a more direct, hey, we brought in a guy to play the role that we wanted you to play that you haven't shown us you can play, than Darren Waller coming in for Jatavian Sanders. Like, that is pretty spot on. And it'd be one thing if he were a rookie or even a second-year player, because then you could argue the decision is like, no, we're bringing in Waller for you to learn from him. We want you to watch how he operates and be in practice with him and play like him in the future. But being a third-year player and having that, it's much more difficult to say, right? Because by third year, that's when you're supposed to have figured everything out. That's when you're supposed to be giving your team huge value by being a contributor still on a rookie contract. Shaw Smith-Wade, defensive back, he's been up and down, still in the mix for a role in the defensive backfield. But I actually think for a 5th-round pick, that's about on par. That's what you would expect, right? Yeah, if you are a tried-and-true, locked-in starter as a 5th-round pick going into year 3, that's like a huge win. I don't know if Shaw Smith-Wade is a miss. But if you believe what we started this conversation with, that you can't judge a draft class truly for 3 years, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round pick of the Carolina Panthers in the 2024 draft have to stop the momentum, the snowball going against them, and turn it around this year in a big way, or else, with context, we're going to have to start having a conversation about how poor that draft was for the Panthers. With the context being Dan Morgan didn't have a ton of experience or time to get ready for his first draft once taken over as GM. And if there's anything we've learned, this is a pretty thorough front office. And my guess would be they put a lot of time in, like, over years to get ready for a draft. And the sped up, the fast forward nature of how they had to get ready for that 2024 draft is showing now, right? I think they've done better in recent years, but the argument might be you can't judge those draft classes either because there's still time to go. But I think they've done better in recent years than they did in that particular draft, because it's looking rough on paper right now. It's looking rough on paper right now. And as everyone will tell you, I'm not breaking news. This isn't like a novel thought. But when you're trying to rebuild, the best thing you could do to accelerate that rebuild is not only avoid bad drafts, but have some surprisingly good drafts. Those are the things that are like, gasoline on a rebuild fire. That's how you accelerate it, or else you just have to keep kind of slowly plugging along. All right, now let's talk about the last 2 rounds real quickly here. Jayden Crumedy, defensive tackle. Just didn't amount to much. Haven't seen much from him. Hasn't been given a ton of opportunity. But you could argue the most valuable player in the 2024 draft for the Carolina Panthers is Michael Barrett, their 7th round pick. And you may be going, who? I don't. Has he played? What is he, a special teamer? Absolutely not. He was a Panther for 3 months, something like that. Not even 2 months after the draft. But they traded him for a depth corner that was likely going to be cut by the Seattle Seahawks, who has turned out to be Mike Jackson.
Yeah, that's turned out pretty well.
That's a fantastic trade. Last year, largely on the improvement of Mike Jackson, because you would assume J.C. Horn with his draft pedigree and everything else would be really good. But largely on the improvement of Mike Jackson, you could say they had one of, if not the best corner duo in the NFL last year. And that doesn't happen if Michael Barrett isn't drafted as the 7th round pick and then traded to Seattle to bring Mike Jackson in. So, hey, speaking of accelerating rebuilds, if there's a reason why the Panthers surprised everybody last year, Well, there's a couple of them, but one of the big ones is the fact that they found Mike Jackson on the scrap heap and could do things defensively because of him and J.C. Horn on the outside. So even if Leggett doesn't ever turn the corner, although he is looking better in camp, according to pretty much everybody, but he's always been a very good looks-the-part player. Even if Jonathan Brooks can't get over the injuries, even if Trevin Wallace and Jatavian Sanders get beat out and never regain their roles, the draft will have the bright spot of Michael Baird in the 7th round, who you traded for Mike Jackson. Maybe not the best draft, but good trade. Could work out for him. But they've been better in the last 2 drafts. I want to emphasize that as well.
I want to say, I think I agree with you in the sense of this year is really going to be more telling about that draft. Because again,
they say 3 years.
Like Shaw Smith-Wade, again, 5th round pick, was nickel corner, might be the starting nickel this year, but provides a bunch of versatility.
Had a really big pick 6.
Yeah, he's had a really big pick 6 last year against Atlanta. But you also look at the fact that he can play some safety, he can play outside corner in a pinch if you need to, and he plays a bunch of special teams. Like for a 5th round pick, I think that's pretty good.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a overwhelming win or an overwhelming loss. I think he's kind of like what you were trying to draft in the 5th round.
Yeah, it's what you hoped.
Everybody above him to this point has been a disappointment. Jonathan Brooks, with the asterisk being like he hasn't even gotten the opportunity to prove himself. But the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round really haven't given you much as far as positive impact, and it's tough for a team to rebuild going 0 for 4 in the first 4 rounds. So they better figure out a way to get more value out of that group this year. And most obvious being Jonathan Brooks, now that he can hopefully play, and Xavier Leggett because he was a 1st rounder. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. I ask you often, but I do appreciate it when we get those new followers joining that community. That was the Football at 4 segment brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. Also, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Miller Lending, make sure, I'm telling you this, and if it is an issue, you can call Miller Lending. So if you are maybe not refinancing your home, even though rates are lower than they were when you locked in your mortgage, or if you want to buy a house but you are hesitant because of closing costs, if that's what's stopping you from refi, if that's what's stopping you from buying a home, if that's what's stopping you from getting into your dream home, well, stop it. Don't let closing costs stop you from doing either of those things. Miller Lending offers a no-cost loan. They remove the barrier, right? If you're sitting there saying, hey, I really want some food, but I don't want to get in the car, delivery eliminated that for you. If you're sitting there saying, hey, I really want a new mortgage, but I don't want to pay closing costs, Miller Lending eliminated that for you. There's no more obstacle holding you back. So give them a call. 919-447-3377. Say, I've wanted to refi and closing costs have been stopping me. They'll know what to do from there. 919-447-3377 or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, easy to remember, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. When we come back, there's a play calling quirk for the Panthers that I think they need to fix, and we'll play a round of cons and cons. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
It's disgusting. It's annoying. If a billionaire tells you, hey, I just bought another yacht, are you like, wow, amazing, way to go? You're like, cool, rub it in. I don't have air conditioning. I don't think this is fun for other fans around Major League Baseball. The Dodgers can get anybody they want, and the worst part about this is a lockout is all but signed, sealed, delivered.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You can also listen to us on the 99.9 The Fan app. Google Play, App Store. Download it completely free. We would appreciate a 5-star rating, but you can take us with you in your pocket. Anywhere your phone has connection, you can listen to us live here on 99.9 The Fan. And you would hear a conversation that I'm going to do my best not to nerd out on too hard. I can get deep in the weeds with this kind of stuff, so if I'm too deep, let me know. If not, grab a snorkel, jump in with us. There's a play-calling quirk that I think the Panthers need to fix, which the lucky part of it is they're already making pretty significant changes to their play-calling this year, so perhaps it's something you can just mix in. Dave Canales has been the play caller the last 2 seasons for the Carolina Panthers. This upcoming year, it'll be Brad Idzik, their offensive coordinator. They've already announced that switch. They've started making it. This training camp, Idzik's been the one making the calls. However, I want to emphasize, they are not changing the scheme and style and playbook, right? It's just the play caller. Brad Idzik and Dave Canales will still both be very involved in putting together game plans and the actual design of the playbook. Which is why I think they should perhaps look at what I'm about to tell you and make some inherent changes to at least the volume of different plays in their playbook. So I have to give a hat tip to Fantasy Points on Twitter. They compiled a lot of this information, which I will be completely honest with you all. I started reading from a fantasy standpoint, right? I am a fantasy diehard, and I started off as a hobbyist reading these tweets, and by the end, I was a professional sports radio host that covers the Carolina Panthers because there was some stuff in there that I went, oh, I should switch my brain from recreation to work here because it's some good information. So the whole basis of this is runs that go to the outside are more likely to be explosive plays, right? Big plays, 15 yards or more for a run. They are more likely to come on outside runs, which, if you're aware of the gap scheme that many coaches use for where running plays end up, C gap or wider and A and B gap are the 2 categories we're dividing here. So essentially, for those of you that didn't play football, don't know football, A and B gap are seen as like up the middle. C plus, C and outside are seen as off tackle is kind of the way you're looking at it.
So we're talking between the tackles versus outside.
There you go. And the way they divided this up is just how many of a running back's run, what percentage of a running back's run plays are up the middle versus outside. From a fantasy perspective, they're basically saying explosive runs are the things that lead to the most fantasy points. So you want the players that are running outside more often because that's where the explosive plays run, and they have the statistics to back it up. One of the graphics, all right, and I promise I'm almost done with the math and numbers part of this conversation. One of the graphics showed the 10 running backs who have the highest percentage of their runs between the tackles in the A and B gap. So of all the players in the NFL that had at least 100 carries, they have the top 10 who have the highest percentage of runs up the middle, which their research also says is the least likely place to find explosive runs. Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle last year were both in the top 8, number 5 and number 8 in the NFL in most of their runs being in the A and B gap. Highest percentage of their runs being in the A and B gap. Chuba Hubbard had 69% of his runs come in the A or B gap. Rico Dowdle had 65% of his runs go into the A or B gap, the up the middle between the tackles. Now, the crazy part about that is I could see a running back having a need for a 65+ percentage middle of the field breakdown. But that would be if that's their role, right? If you are the short yardage back, if you are the power back, then most of your runs are between the tackles and your scheme breakers, your rule breakers, right? To keep them honest, you occasionally go outside about 30-35% of the time. That makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me to have both of your running backs have at least a 65% up the middle breakdown. That tells me you are missing out on the opportunity for the explosives. Right? This year, if Chuba Hubbard is 65% up the middle, but Jonathan Brooks gets a lot of carries and he is nowhere near that, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Just like with most of these other players in the top 10, they come from play callers that I don't mind. Alvin Kamara's on the list. Kareem Hunt's on the list. Ramondre Stevenson's on the list. Ashton Genty's on the list. Ashton Genty excluded. Most of those guys have play callers that I think are pretty good. But they're not going to have 2 running backs plunging up the middle way more often than they are getting a chance to get in space. That's the issue I have. So the Carolina Panthers, maybe the number one thing that I think their offense has to change, or it's more of a symptom than like what they have to change. What they have to make changes trying to do, right? They have to make changes with the goal of they have to have more explosive plays. They have to. Passing game, running game, play action game, screen game, I don't care what game they're in, they have to have more explosive plays. Last year, it felt like at times, if they didn't have a 12-play drive, they had no chance of scoring a touchdown. And that's just, it's too difficult in the NFL. It's nice to know you have in your bag of tricks the availability or the ability to like try to break the opponent's back with a 12-play drive. Like we're just going to run it down their throats. We're going to hold the football. We're going to break their will. But that can't be the only tool you have in your bag. You also occasionally need like a 4-play drive, right? 2-yard run, 8-yard completion for a first down, stuffed at the line of scrimmage, touchdown. Like you need those drives too because it just makes everybody's life easier. I've used the old Owl Tootsie Roll commercials, Tootsie Pop commercials as an example. How many licks does it take to get to the bottom of a Tootsie Pop? 1, 2, 3. You need somebody that can chew, that can just bite the Tootsie Pop. Now, I've been blaming's the wrong word, but I've been discussing Chuba Hubbard as if he is just a plotter. Right? And he kind of is, right? His career long run is what, like 38 yards, something like that. He's much more of a 5 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards kind of running back. Maybe I'm misplacing that blame or that reasoning. Maybe he appears as if he's a 5 yards, 7 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards running back, even at his best, because he's only being given runs that are designed to pick up 5 yards, 7 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards at their best. They need to get their running backs in space and give them a chance to make longer runs. By the way, if you look at the running backs that are most likely to go outside, Devon Achane, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, all in the top 5. Now, those are also explosive playmakers, but they're being given the highest percentage in the league of the runs that are most likely to lead to explosive plays. So there's a bit of chicken or the egg. You know what I mean? Put your running backs in position to make explosive plays, or else I can't sit here and blame them for not being explosive playmakers.
Well, here's a question I have for you in that regard.
Let's hear it.
Do the running backs actually have the speed that can actually make game-breaking plays on the outside? Like, do they actually have the skill set? Like, there's part of that, too.
Last year, well, that's the Chuba question, right? And
yeah.
I'm fine with that. But last year, Rico Dowdle proved he could get out in the open field and make some plays, whether it was in the passing game. He made some explosive runs, and still they were sending him up the middle 65% of his runs. Right? Which makes me think if Jonathan Brooks, hopefully, if he gets back to his pre-injury self, which we are all fingers crossed for, but if he does it and he's playing the Rico Dowdle role, even if he has the explosive ability, he won't have the best chances of impacting the game with that explosive ability. It's just one of those things that I think like play callers might even not notice, right? They might, because if we're being real, pre-analytics, you had to go off vibes. Like, did I call enough outside runs? Did I call enough getting him in space? And you would just kind of have to go by feel. Now that we have all of these numbers at our disposal, sometimes you need that kind of mirror to hold up and show yourself and go, all right, no, we need to get our guys out there in space more. We need to get our guys out there with the opportunity to make big plays. Because, I mean, it's not only is it too hard for really every NFL team to only score on 10-play-plus drives, but specifically for the Panthers, you're asking Bryce Young to go, 12 plays, 13 plays without making a critical error. Like, make it easier for him. Get him a 6-play drive where he only has to make 3 good decisions and you get a touchdown out of it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of the Carolina Panthers, it is a Thursday, and with preseason NFL football action tonight, and the Panthers playing on Saturday at Buffalo, who, by the way, the Bills did make it known today that Josh Allen and the starters will play for Buffalo.
I like this.
So the Panthers will get a fastball look from the as fast as you can get from the Buffalo Bills. That's coming up on Saturday. You got really excited for that, didn't you?
I am. Well, I think in order for us to properly evaluate what the Carolina Panthers are doing in a preseason game, I would like to see them play against an opposing team's starters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, you're not doing specific game planning and those kinds of things, but it's still ones versus ones.
I do have some stats on that as well that we'll hit real quick. I'm just all about the numbers today.
You are clearly into it, and that's okay.
Across the past 5 seasons, looking at the preseason, regular season compared to preseason, shift and motion usage, so all the pre-snap window dressing, is 15.4% less in the preseason than regular season. Personnel group diversity, so, actively shifting in your different players and different specialists on offense, falls 21% in the preseason versus the regular season. And offenses, when trailing in the fourth quarter, their pass rate over expected drops by a bunch, 12.3% versus regular season levels, which some call the let's get out of here effect, where they're like, we're losing, it's the fourth quarter, who cares? Run the ball, keep the clock moving, let's get to the buses. But it just shows that even if you are facing Josh Allen, you're not facing the Bills trying to get you as confused as possible and then hitting you with Josh Allen. You're likely facing the Bills running more simplified things and just trying to get into a little bit of a rhythm. But along the lines of what Dennis was saying, I still think you get a better feel if it's Josh Allen versus who's their backup up there now? I don't even know.
Is it Mitchell Trubisky still?
Is it still?
It might be. I don't know.
Mitchie T, Tar Heel legend. Is he still up there backing up Josh?
I'll pull this up. We can see DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, old friend as well.
Let's see. The quarterbacks that they have on their roster currently constructed, you have Josh Allen, Kyle Allen.
Oh, another
Kyle Allen.
By the way, there is always a ton of, especially end of the bench guys between Buffalo and Carolina because of the Brandon Beane connection. It used to be the McDermott connection. There was just a lot of decision makers that have spent time both in Carolina and Buffalo. So they like a lot of the same guys. So Kyle Allen being up there doesn't surprise me. With all that being said, ahead of their preseason game on Saturday, here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, let's play a slightly altered version of Panthers Cons and Cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
It starts with a W.
Confidence.
All right, Dennis, the slightly altered version for today is it has to be a position group that you are most confident or most concerned about. It cannot be a player. It cannot be a coach. Cannot be a movement. It cannot be anything abstract. You have to pick a position group that you are most confident in for the Carolina Panthers and a position group that you are most concerned about for the Carolina Panthers. As always, when someone says I have good news and bad news, which do you want? You take the bad news first. So Dennis will start concern. You can lead off. What are you most concerned about?
My concern probably at this moment is actually probably the offensive line. Because you're working in a brand new center in Luke Fortner. You have a brand new left tackle in Rasheed Walker. You have a brand new rookie right tackle in Monroe Freeling. And also your two starting guards are dealing with a little bit of an injury right now. Damian Lewis working through a calf injury right now, working his way back. Robert Hunt dealing with a little bit of a back tightness, working his way back. Now, again, we are exactly 1 month away from game number 1 against Chicago. But still, it's a bit concerning right now because there's also the depth of the offensive line. You have Brady Christensen coming off a major Achilles injury. Chandler Zavala seems to get hurt quite often. You have a rookie in Sam Hecht. You have Stone Forsythe, who I hope he doesn't have to play. So that right now to me is a bit of a concern. Is just right now the offensive line, there's a lot of new faces and some injuries right now.
So I have quarterback written down, but I was like, that's not really a position group, that's a player. Yeah. So my answer was offensive line. For a lot of the reasons you said, but also, like, it is notorious in the NFL that offensive linemen get hurt, right? You know why? Because they play a really, really physical position. There's 5 of them. So, like, you're 5 times more likely to have an offensive lineman hurt than you are your starting tight end or your quarterback. So I just don't like where they're starting with the injuries, right? Like, the games haven't even begun, and there's a boatload of just things to monitor, right? I almost want you to feel like at this point you're completely healthy, because you're not going to be completely healthy, but I want you to start there. You're already beginning with, like, your backup tackles. Your guards are at least worth monitoring. Like, it's a little scary there. So I have offensive line as well. I also think the Panthers might be one of the bigger gaps for any team, which is like the gap between my confidence level if the starting 5 are healthy and my confidence level if like 2 or 3 of them are hurt. The Panthers might have the biggest gap of any team in the NFL there. I just think their starters are quite good. But it doesn't take much for me to get to names where I'm like, that guy's playing? So until all 5 starters are super healthy, I'll be a little nervous. What are you most confident in? What position group are you most confident in for the Carolina Panthers? So you went same thing? I did. I had quarterback, but I felt bad. I felt like I was skirting the rules there. So then I did write down offensive line, and it's the injuries. Just beginning too early with the injuries.
Quarterback would be a confidence if Haynes King was healthy right now. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Well, the whole room, like, I don't know why Kenny Pickett's getting so much hate. I think he's a solid backup quarterback.
Yeah,
and
exactly that.
And I think Haynes King is almost exactly what you want as a third quarterback. High, kind of like lotto ticket upside, but a culture guy. Like, I think that, and might participate and help in like other roles. Like, the quarterback room, I'm not concerned about. It's just the guy who's the front of it that has me a little concerned.
My confidence when it comes to the Carolina Panthers in terms of position groups right now, I got to go with the corners, especially when you have the top 2 guys with J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson. I think those 2 guys are great. Again, health obviously being a factor for everyone, but I think those 2 guys are a great combination. You can sit there and truly make an argument that they're the best duo in the NFL. Like, you can make that legit argument, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I actually really like the upside of Will Lee. Now, I know he got beat for a long 35-yard play, but he still is not afraid to come up and make tackles and run support. We did see some breakups on third downs from him as well. He's just got to find consistency, but he looks the part. And you also have the versatility with guys like Corey Thornton, who can play some nickel, outside, or safety, and same thing with Shaw Smith-Wade as well. I like their corner group right now.
I have to be honest here. This was difficult.
Yeah.
The position groups, I think you could go through every position group right now, and I think some well-placed injuries have added to this. I think some reports out of training camp have added to this. I think there's a flaw or a concern at most positions because, right, you want just the nature of the question. I'm not asking for a position group that you're confident in. I'm asking for the position group that you are most confident in. And it feels like a playoff team returning most of the starters coming back. There should be like a glowing on a pedestal position group or two that you're just like, don't got to worry about them. They're all good. And you went with corners. You could argue 2 of the 5 best players on the defense are corners, yet it doesn't take long for you to figure out why you'd be concerned about it.
Yeah.
You look at the big free agency signings, right? They brought in Jalen Phillips. Maybe you're going edge rusher. The Nick Scorton injury just eliminates that. Oh, look at this. 27th best player in the NFL top 100. It's Devin Lloyd. Of course, off-ball linebackers. You don't even know who's going to be starting next to him. So after going through quite a bit, I wasn't expecting to settle here. The position group I'm most confident in is wide receiver. I think there's 2 that I'm very confident in, and I at least like that the hodgepodge of people going for the 3rd and 4th wide receiver spot. Mm-hmm. For the most part, we've seen them putting their best foot forward, right? If you don't like Jimmy Horn Jr., you have to admit that in the Hall of Fame game, he made some plays. John Mechie, I don't know if he was brought in as a lotto ticket, as a favor to Bryce because they're college buddies. He had a decent return in the Hall of Fame game, and we've seen some good things. Xavier Legette, I know a lot of people have lost their confidence, myself included in him. But go on Twitter and just search Xavier Legette. He made a pretty bananas catch this morning on a toe tap. He is working. He is appearing as if there's a chance he's turned a corner. Like Jasim Reed making a play every day at training camp.
Yep.
It at least seems like whoever is the 3rd and 4th wide receiver are going to have made plays to go get it. And then on top of that, I think everybody knows how big of a fan of Tedero McMillan I am. Jalen Coker, this show bought stock very early in Jalen Coker.
That we did.
And we're not selling yet, but we probably should to diversify our portfolio because we made a bunch of money on that stock.
Yeah, we did.
It's already gone up a bunch. We're going to hold it because we still like him, but
it's only going to keep going up.
But goodness, I'm very confident in the top 2, and even while the players I might not be confident in, I just like that nobody's going to be the number 4 wide receiver because everybody else took 4 steps back. At least there are people taking steps forward that are competing for that job.
There are going to be 1, if not 2 wide receivers that are going to be off this 53-man roster for the Panthers that you can sit there and say can be on an NFL team somewhere in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
And that's a good thing. As opposed to we got to keep 5. Ooh. It's a lot better situation than that.
I'm not saying the wide receivers are like the Bengals or the Cowboys or something like that, but it's just there's been 2 guys that I'm super confident in and then some pleasant surprises this training camp, and I hope they keep it up. I hope they make it a very difficult decision on who's going to be cut. So there you go. Cons and cons, position groups. We can move on. But if you have a position group that you are ultimately super confident or super concerned about, you can let us know in the YouTube live stream comments. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Live stream up there every day. You can jump in that live chat, communicate with us during the show. We would greatly appreciate it. I did this earlier. I'll do it one more time here this hour. Update you on some of the golfers that played their college golf here in the state of North Carolina that are in the Fedex. There you go. FedEx playoffs. St. Jude Championship going on at TPC Southwind in Memphis. Underrated part of today for the action at the St. Jude Championship. 97 degrees locally in Memphis. So hopefully the fella's hydrated and they're out there, they got a change of shirt at the turn. 97 degrees for golf. It's hot.
It's hot for anything.
True. But I think sometimes, beautiful day, golf, nice. 97 degrees. That's smoking.
No, thank you.
Alex Smalley tied for 14th, played at Duke, 2 under par. Ryan Gerard played at UNC. He's tied for 37th, even par, as is Alex Fitzpatrick, who played at Wake. Cameron Young played at Wake, tied for 54th, 2 over par, still on the course. Ben Griffin, Michael Brennan, that is a UNC golfer and a Wake Forest golfer formerly, are both tied for 60th in a 70-man field, so not ideal. But they're just +3, so there's still a lot of golf left to be played. The leaders are at 5 under par, and they include Jordan Spieth, Jake Knapp, Kurt Kitayama, and Michael Thorbjornsen. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, speaking of YouTube comments and live stream comments, we'll read some of those comments and react on air in something we call a feedback frenzy coming up.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Touchdown! Washington wins on a Hail Mary! Herbert in the pocket. He flings it right side for McConkey. He's got it this time for the touchdown. Going to scramble at the 5-2-1. Touchdown, Carolina. Bryce Young.
The NFL returns August 14th on 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
You pull up at a McDonald's drive-thru at the crack of dawn to get your $3 crispy chicken biscuit. You've been craving it all night. It was a very long night, but your taste buds pulled through. Those are no ordinary taste buds, and you are no ordinary human. You are a champion, and you deserve a $3 crispy chicken biscuit. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You're playing all the music that I have stories for. I once...
Okay, go on.
So, interior of the Preakness, the horse race, when this song was everywhere. It was like the most popular song in whatever.
Preakness in Baltimore.
Baltimore, yes. Yeah. The leg of the Triple Crown, the horse race. Me and a buddy were there, and in the interior of Preakness, I don't even know if it is this way anymore. It used to be a gigantic party. It was pretty aggressive. And they had concert stages on either side of this gigantic infield. And on one side, they had what was her name? The Royals girl. Lorde. And she was fresh. Like, this song was super popular on there. And scheduled for nearly the exact same time on the other side was Nas, the hip-hop artist.
Oh, yeah. Nas.
And
Illmatic, let's go.
Exactly. And I kid you not, and this is no disrespect to Nas because I was like confused in the moment. There were probably 100,000 people on the infield of the Preakness. 99,000 of them were crowding and fighting to go watch Lorde, and there was like 1,000 of us, maybe 500 of us that went over to the Nas side, and we basically got like a super duper private Nas performance. And he was cool about it, right? He wasn't like mad. He was looking at us kind of like joking, and anybody that looked like they knew the words to some of his songs, he would like come over and like, you know, do a little like acknowledgement. It was really wild. But I remember going, because I grew up a hip hop fan first. Like, that was the stuff I listened to of my youth, you know, straight from the streets. I was a typical suburban kid that listened to hip hop. And I remember going like, what is everybody doing? Why is everybody not here on Nas's side? But instead, I got a really cool experience where there were not many people down there, and I got to check it out. So you could vaguely hear like Royals playing over and over again. I don't know how many popular songs she even had. Just like Royals over and over again on the other side while we were listening to, like, you know, Whose World Is This and everything else from Nas. Shout out to Nas. It was awesome. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's just a story. Now let's hear from some of you in a feedback frenzy. All right, what do you got for us, Dennis? What are they saying online in the YouTubes and everything else?
All right. This one comes from Stormy716 on our YouTube live chat. You had a mentioning about the draft class for the Carolina Panthers, right? About the 2024 draft class. And there was a run of wide receivers in that draft class from the late first round into the early second. It's kind of very hit and miss, including Xavier Legette that went 32nd overall.
Correct.
The very next pick was Keon Coleman, 33rd overall to the Buffalo Bills. Stormy716 says, want to swap Xavier Legette for Keon Coleman?
Maybe. I mean, to be completely honest, I don't often pay attention to things that aren't happening in NFL games for other NFL teams. Keon Coleman has not done much in NFL games for Buffalo, so I haven't watched him very much. I don't know what he has added to his game, what's lacking. So I obviously watched, like, you know, training camp footage or preseason stuff for the Panthers, but I'm not doing that for every team in the NFL. So I don't know if I'd make the move for Keon Coleman. I mean, it's not even just the late first down. Like, I can tell you this one. Malachi Corley was an early pick in that early third-round pick in that draft. Do you know what he went viral for recently? Devontae Adams told the story of when he joined the Jets. He wanted number 17, and there was a rookie that wore number 17, which I know was Malachi Corley. And he went up to him and said, like, hey, man, let me get 17 off you. And he, according to Devontae Adams had $17,000 cash in a bag and was going to say, like, for number 17, I'll give you $17K. Ha, ha, ha. And I will buy everyone that you know that bought a 17 jersey. I'll buy them new jerseys because I know they invested in you, yada, yada, yada. Apparently, Malachi Corley said, I'm going to need $1 million for number 17. $1 million. And Devontae Adams went, ha, ha, ha. No, went and spoke to the owner, and they took it from Malachi Corley and gave it to Devontae Adams for no money. So it's a rough look it's a rough look for the 2024 wide receivers. It's a rough look. Devontae said, I was going to give you something, but if you want to ask me $1 million, we'll see. It was his by like the next day. Rough look. Adonai Mitchell, rough look. Jermaine Burton, rough look. There's not many in that draft that are doing big things. What else you got?
Golly, imagine that. Just like, you know what? Could add 17 grand or nothing.
It's called playing your hand, and you didn't have the cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Called your bluff.
Exactly. So yesterday we had a conversation about Jalen Coker, the wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, and about, you know, what's his ceiling going to be possibly as a number 2 receiver this season next to Teteroa McMillan. This one comes from Pink Panther 2124. The Pink Panther says, Jalen Coker's ceiling heavily depends on two things. One, his body holding up for a full season.
Correct.
And two, having a QB1 with the arm strength to easily throw to different levels of the field. And Bryce ain't that QB1. Bryce is mainly a short area anticipation QB.
I don't agree with that fully. Well, I do agree that every wide receiver inherently is dependent on their quarterback a bit, right? Like, there's a reason why Justin Jefferson looks all-world when he has Sam Darnold, and then last year with J.J. McCarthy looked not. But Jalen Coker he's like a unbelievable contested catch guy. He's strong hands. He's sure hands. If the ball's not humming in there on a dig and the defense closes the gap a little bit, he can still make that catch. He's not – I think it would be much more of a worry if he were I'll use the craziest example. If he were like a Tyreek Hill or like a Jalen Waddle or something that breaks into the open and needs the ball like heaved out there, that is where like the super arm strength comes in. If you're accurate, I think you can take advantage of Jalen Coker. That's not me saying that Bryce Young is like the best quarterback for getting the most out of Jalen Coker. I'm just saying I don't know if him not having, Justin Herbert or Josh Allen's arm strength is the issue there.
All right, next one here along the lines of the conversation we had yesterday about UNC basketball guard Seth Trimble. Having graduated from UNC already, is now going on to play Louisville as a grad transfer. This one comes from Solo Business 4320. Again, we had the conversation yesterday, part of that, about reportedly, according to Jeff Goodman of the Field of 68, that Louisville is paying him approximately $3 million. $3 million. Solo Business 4320 says that Papa John's money hit different.
I don't know which rich people Louisville has, but Louisville has some rich people.
They do. Louisville's got some money.
Their program is funded more than you'd think. And I do think that played a factor, right? If North Carolina had bottomless money, they may have gone, we'll find space. We'll find a role for them. Just get them the money. But you don't want to be, taking money that you're going to need for next year and spending it this year just for sentimentality. It's a really tough situation, like we said yesterday. I'm sure it could have been handled better at some point, but the NCAA put everybody in a tough situation, and they didn't handle it great.
All right, this one comes from along those same questions. Christopher Clark says, since Louisville does play in Chapel Hill this year, Christopher says, I wonder how Seth Trimble will be treated. Will he be booed? Will he be not? I'm just curious how you think Seth Trimble will be treated when he goes back to Chapel Hill.
I know they play twice. Do they play at Louisville or in Chapel Hill first?
Let me look that up.
Because I think if they play at Chapel Hill second, then I think it depends on what happens in the Louisville game at Louisville. I'd also say this. I bet you he will be applauded.
We don't have dates on that.
Oh, true. I knew that.
We just know opponents. We don't have dates yet.
I think he'll be applauded. I think. First of all, he hit that shot against Duke, and that's going to trump a lot of things that you're doing correctly. I think he'll be applauded. Also, I do think I'm going to give Carolina Tar Heel fans some credit. I think they can see the big picture here. I think they can see that this wasn't how Seth Trimble wanted it to go either. It's very different what Seth was dealing with, which included surprise eligibility, a coaching change, a full roster. This is different than a player that, just hit the transfer portal to cash in. And I think everybody will see that. So I bet you he'll be applauded. I bet you he'll get emotional, and then they'll play basketball. Actually, do you know what might decide how they do or don't celebrate Seth Trimble? How good is Carolina? If they're top 10 and they don't feel like they miss him, there you go. Give him a round of applause. If they're not playing well and Louisville's like 5th in the country, maybe it's a different beast there. So winning solves everything. That's how we'll look at it.
All right, along that same, this is actually a really good question that one of our listeners or viewers brought up on YouTube as well, along that Seth Trumbull conversation. This one comes from Zach Bowles. Zach says, so after this year, is he eligible to go to the NBA draft again?
I don't think so.
That's kind of odd.
It is very odd.
Yeah, that's because he was not drafted this past year.
I don't think you can go back into the draft.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Similar to the guys that played last year but had their were draft picks. They had their rights. Their rights would go back to the team that drafted him. No, I believe he'll be wouldn't that be something if he has a career year ACC player of the year and then he just goes right into free agency?
That'd be kind of wild.
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I guess it's no different than if he was undrafted and went overseas. The next year he would just be a free agent. So I'm guessing they'll just treat Louisville as if it's like Croatia and go with it from there. Do you know what's more interesting?
What's that?
What if he's having a heck of a season and an NBA team suffers a bunch of injuries at guard? Can they sign him off of Louisville?
I guess theoretically, yes.
If the Hornets just get a rash of injuries and he's balling at Louisville and it's January 14th, can they just go hey, we'll give you a contract. Can you be in Charlotte by this weekend?
It's you've already entered the draft. You've already been eligible to sign on a summer league team and stuff. So, yeah, why not?
He may have to give back some of the NIL that Louisville's promised him, but maybe it's unlikely because, if NBA teams didn't love his skill set this past year, I don't know if they'll suddenly make him a priority this year, but it would be a real interesting conversation to have.
Huh. That is
things that make you know what the advice would be there? Everybody lawyer up. Louisville would be suing someone. Seth Trimble would be suing someone. Somehow the NCAA would lose in court, even though they're not really a party in it. It'd be chaos. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to everybody that interacts with us on our YouTube and other social medias. 99.9 The Fan. Subscribe, follow, all of the socials. We'd greatly appreciate it. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you listened in right now as I tell you all about Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. Remember that. In any order. Cooling, plumbing, electrical, heating. They do it all for your house. If something breaks, give them a call. That much is obvious. You should save the number I'm about to give you in your phone. So if you have a leak, if you have an electrical issue, if something breaks, you don't have to go searching, right? It's already right there saved in your phone. But also keep in mind for things like maintenance. It's been nice and hot outside recently. Guess what? When it's nice and hot outside, it's when it's really, really good to get your heating system checked up, right? Just heating system maintenance because A, then it'll be ready if and when it does start getting cold and you want to run it. But B, you're working ahead, right? You are being advanced. Similar, right? Right now, you should be going to buy your Christmas decorations. They're all on clearance. Also, right now, if you think about your heating system maintenance, you'll be ready for the winter, and you won't be there when it's a rush and everybody's trying to do it. So again, for the emergencies, but also for getting ahead of things, remember this number, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at MaynorServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. When we come back, starting 5, stick around.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
With over $110 million in total prizes, new scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are dazzling the crowd. Get quick wins from Hit 50, Cash, Loteria Grande, and The Star. Massive cash blowout, bursting with $150, $300, and $3,000 prizes. Play and watch your luck shine. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.86 to 9.37. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. It is hot and humid out there today. Highs in the mid to upper 90s. The heat index around 105. Staying warm tonight. Mostly clear with a low of 75. And then another hot day on Friday. Some spotty storms with highs in the upper 90s.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 69 points. Nice day for the Dow Jones. Closing at 53,840.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, getting ready for the starting 5, which is brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. We do good work at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. That's the Baker name, Baker Home Exteriors. BakerHomeExteriors.com. We'll jump into the starting 5, and as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You are one pathetic loser.
So yesterday I worked really hard trying to make the point that in the Seth Trimble transfer there really was no villain, no bad guy. Today I think we might have a couple bad guys, a couple losers, if you will. Jayden Daniels of the Washington Commanders issued a cease and desist to his former college football team where he won the Heisman Trophy, LSU, to not use his name, image, and likeness anymore. And it appears as if the catalyst for that decision is that he was upset and is upset that somebody on the current LSU team is wearing number 5, which was his number, and I guess he feels that nobody should ever wear number 5 again because he was that awesome for LSU. There was some reporting early on that it may have to do with the fact that nobody has worn Joe Burrow's number 9 for LSU yet since he left campus, and he felt like his number should be treated the same. There's been some reporting that it has nothing to do with Joe Burrow. He just feels that number 5 shouldn't be worn. I can't emphasize this enough. Jayden Daniels cannot let lawyers get involved in this situation. If somebody from his team, if a manager, if an agent wants to do it, he has to step in and say, I'm not this petty. I'm not this arrogant. No. If they want to retire my jersey, I will accept the honor, and I will be very humble and gracious. If they want to let someone else wear it, cool. I've got bigger things I'm dealing with. So, Jayden, I mean, it's one of the softer things I've heard in sports in a while.
It's so soft.
So, not great on Jayden's part. By the way, there's reports that he wants, this is kind of hilarious, that he is requesting the replica Heisman trophy that schools receive when one of their players wins the Heisman. He wants it out of there. Like, you don't get to do that. No. I actually went to Heisman.com, their actual site. This is the exact wording. Recognizing the role a school plays in a player's success, the Heisman Trophy Committee voted to award 2 trophies each year, one presented to the college football player and the second awarded to his school. I don't think he even owns it or even had to decide. That is the school's Heisman Trophy. That's not his, and he's requesting it back. That's not yours.
You are one pathetic loser.
Now, here's the other side. I don't think LSU is smart here. Remember when we made a ton of fun of UNC because they weren't tweeting about Drake May as much as they were tweeting about other players? You should make your great players feel very loved and wanted because they are essentially recruiting tools for your organization. I'm not saying you got to retire his number, but you should communicate better with Jayden Daniels. Right? Heck, give him a call. This player was promised in recruiting, number 5. We understand you're a legend and you are number 5. Is there a way we can donate some money to your foundation? Or is there a way we can put you in contact with the player so they understand the legacy that they're carrying? Make them feel special so they want to promote you. There's no winners when Jayden Daniels doesn't want anything to do with LSU. There's no winners. I used to talk to Old Dominion's athletic director for a show I hosted in a different market, and it was when Taylor Heineke was a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And he used to he played at Old Dominion.
Mm-hmm. Played Washington Commanders.
Yeah, that's exactly when it was, yep. Panthers legend.
That's right.
But the athletic director used to say, I love every game that he starts in the NFL. It is a 4-hour infomercial for Old Dominion University. And it can, it is, kind of, right? Because they say starting at quarterback from quarterback. Jayden Daniels is not helping LSU here. And LSU is not helping LSU here.
Jayden Daniels also isn't helping himself.
No, not at all.
It's dude, you're in the middle of training camp after a season where you were oft injured.
Which, he did put out a statement saying, I'm focused on training camp. There's obviously things my team and LSU have to work out. You can't sue somebody with your name on it without you giving the A-OK.
Yeah, you have to, exactly. You get to sign on that.
As soon as someone puts that in front of me, I go, are you stupid? Get this out of my face. I'm going to training camp.
10-ply sauce, that's what that is.
That was number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
The Charlotte Hornets.
So, Dennis.
Yes.
One of the, this is me, old man yelling at clouds. Mm-hmm. One of the things I hate is finding where games are broadcasted. I hate opening up 6 different apps on my Roku before I get to the one that actually has the game I want. I long for the days where we had cable and you could just scroll channels until you find it. But that's not the case anymore. What's the latest on what I'm going to have to do to watch Charlotte Hornets games this year?
All right, so the Charlotte Hornets announced their media deal. So, again, Charlotte Hornets were under FanDuel Sports Network, just like the Carolina Hurricanes used to be. So, as we were waiting for the Carolina Hurricanes to announce what their local broadcasting rights are going to be, the Charlotte Hornets announced that WSOC, which is an ABC-affiliated TV station, as I think it's also TV Channel 64 in the area, but that's where all their local broadcasts are going to be over the air on ABC, WSOC down there in Charlotte, which is great.
So in Charlotte, it's kind of what I was saying. Like, it's going to be on, yeah.
So it's in Charlotte. Now, the Hornets also did say, because I was one of the people that responded to the post saying, that's awesome. I love the fact that, A, it's over the air, and B, it's free. So, like, again, like if you already have YouTube TV, if you have cable, if you have an antenna in that area, you can watch.
That's for Charlotte area.
That's in the Charlotte area. Now, there are a lot of people, myself included, who are saying, like, that's awesome. That's great. What
for
about
them?
Raleigh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's great for them, but does nothing for me.
Here?
Yeah.
So the Hornets actually have been responding to people stating that they are looking into ways that they can, in the coming weeks, about local stations that will carry the Hornets in specific communities, including the Raleigh area. Also, additional partners and viewing options will be announced soon. Even a potential direct-to-consumer way as well. So if you're out of market, there's a way if you really want to watch games as well. But I hope in some way, shape, or form that it's on a channel where if you have Spectrum or YouTube TV or Hulu Live TV, that you can just turn it on and that you can watch a Hornets game. Just like I hope the same thing happens with the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes. I think it's big picture. I think it's been a huge blunder for the Charlotte Hornets that they have not been easier to find all across the state.
Yes.
You should be getting merch sales. Like, my son is 5 years old, and he's actually really into basketball. Like, it's one of his favorite things to do, things to watch. He should be right now being like, what's the word? Indoctrinated into Hornets fandom, but I really can't because I can't put the games on when he's watching. So instead, and maybe appropriately so for our area, he's becoming a diehard college basketball fan because those are the games that we watch. But if I could just get the Hornets on like regular television or if it was a super easy to find app, we would have it on and he would be, buying jerseys and hats and he'd be doing the whole thing.
This is like caution this to any sports league or franchise. Don't make it difficult for casual fans to find your product. Let alone your diehards. I mean, diehards are going to find a way because they're diehards.
That's exactly it.
But don't make it difficult for a casual fan that's only going to watch maybe 10 games during the year. Don't make it difficult for them to watch those games.
And do you know what is, from a fan's perspective, or from a team's perspective, what the best part about casual fans are? They turn into diehards.
Exactly.
Like, nobody starts on level 10. You got to cater to the people on level 1 and turn them into level 2 and level 3, and then eventually some of them will be your diehards. It's happened with the Canes. I mean, I could go on and on about this, but like, I get whatever it takes to get Canes games, I get, right? And there are people I know that want to be interested in the Canes, and they'll text me like, hey, how do I get the Canes game? And I have to say, well, you got to download this, you got to pay this, it's this per month, you got to do this, you got to do that, and they're just like, oh, never mind. I'll come over to your house once a year. Like it's make it easier. That's what I'll say. Cost of entry, make it easier. With that being said, sounds like the Hornets are trying, so kudos.
I give them a ton of credit.
Try harder, but I like the effort. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3. FedEx St. Jude Championship going on in the PGA Tour. This is a playoff event. Okay? It's in Memphis. Playoff event. Top 70 in FedEx Cup points have made the field. And they're out there battling 96 degrees. It's dropped a degree in the last hour. 96-degree heat in Memphis.
Oh, grab a jacket.
Or at least, the people that played all in the morning are just mad because they're getting the cooler times in the afternoon. The leaders, I'll give you the leaders first. Michael Thorpe Bjornsson, Jordan Spieth, Kurt Kitayama, and Jake Knapp are all tied in first, 5 under par. The bigger names that you'd expect to make runs, I think, are just behind them. Tommy Fleetwood tied for 5th, just 1 stroke back, 4 under par, as is Hideki Matsuyama, as is Sanjay M, Chris Gotterup, Adam Scott. So there's some dudes up there. If you're looking for the locals, the players that have connections to the area, I'll go Alex Smalley, played his college golf at Duke, is tied for 15th, 2 under par. Ryan Gerard played at UNC. He's even par. Both of them done for the day. Tied for 37th is Gerard. There's 3 golfers with local ties tied for 44th. JT Poston played at Western Carolina. Alex Fitzpatrick and Cam Young both played at Wake. They are 1 over par, tied for 44th. Ben Griffin and Michael Brennan. Ben Griffin, Carolina. Michael Brennan, Wake Forest, fresh off his win last week at the Wyndham in Greensboro. They're tied for 60th, plus 3. Again, I keep saying top 70. The top 70 qualify. I believe Billy Horschel qualified but is injured. So only 69 golfers in the field this week. And so tied for 60th. Guys are going to have to get it going. But it is just making the playoffs is gigantic for things like keeping your PGA Tour card, keeping your status. So everyone I just mentioned, all of those local golfers being a part of the St. Jude Championship is big for their career and setting them up for the future. And there's still a lot of golf left to be played. Who knows? Could make a run. That was number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Preseason football, 6 games, not Hall of Fame game nonsense. These are the real preseason games.
Week 1 preseason, baby. Let's go. None of that week 0 crap.
It's still not football, but it's closer to football.
Yeah.
They're still going to keep it vanilla. They're still going to, play a lot of the backups. They're still going to do those sort of things. But fantasy football players, get ready. Have the notebooks out. Get ready to watch.
By the way, don't do a fantasy draft until after the preseason is done, because the last thing you want to do is select somebody that you fall in love with week 1 of preseason, and then all of a sudden they blow their knee out week 2.
I've got some stories.
Exactly.
Fishing stories where you almost had the big one, or bad beat stories in poker and things, like stories that everybody loves telling, but everyone else listening is like, I don't really care. I'll give you one. I drafted Jordan, my wife's family's fantasy league. Drafts, they used to go like a full beach trip. Everyone would go there. They draft in person at the beach.
That's cool.
Which was fun, except it was before preseason. Because you're at the beach and that's the week you did it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
1 year, drafted Jordy Nelson, who blew out his knee in the preseason.
Oh, no.
It's a 2nd round pick, just down the drain. So yeah, wait as long as you can, especially if it's redraft. But that doesn't mean you can't watch preseason to learn. Get your sleepers locked in. Tonight, Detroit at Cincinnati. Green Bay at Pittsburgh, Indianapolis at New England, Arizona at Vegas, LA Chargers at Houston, and Tennessee at San Francisco. Those are the games that will be played tonight. 6 games on a Thursday. Dennis, do any of those stand out to you? One of them stands out to me. I'll tell you why, but do any of them stand out to you?
Green Bay, Pittsburgh?
Oh, because you're a Pittsburgh fan?
Yeah. Can't wait to...
Jordan Love's going to play.
He is.
I'd like to see him with his first team wide receivers, the Christian Watsons, Michael Golden, because last year I don't want to say this sounds ridiculous. They almost had too many receivers they were trying to get involved. Mm-hmm. They had Romeo Doubs, Jayden Reed. They had a couple different tight ends, Musgrave, Tucker Kraft before he got hurt. Just seemed like they were rotating through and he never really got a connection with any of them. So I'm hoping they pick 3 receivers and go these are your first teamers.
Let's go.
Get to know them, know them inside and out. So we'll see.
I just want to prepare myself for how bad Pittsburgh's going to be this season. I am preparing myself for someone who has seen this team finish at least 500 or better for the last 20 years.
Are you excited to be bad? I think some people actually complained about Mike Tomlin's tenure because he was such a good coach.
He's too good.
That they never bottomed out and had a high draft pick for a quarterback, or they never bottomed because what was the legend? Oh, who was he talking about? Was it Chase Young? Where he's mic'd up before a preseason game and he was just looking at Chase Young and he was talking to somebody going I hope I'm never bad enough to be able to draft a guy like that, because he was drafted in the top 3 or whatever, and he's I hope I'm never bad enough to draft a guy like that, because those players don't fall to the second half of the first. And that was kind of complained about for Mike Tomlin, that he never bottomed out. He never tanked. But because of that, he also got stuck kind of in purgatory where they were always a 8 to 10 win team, but never a 13 win title contender. Post Roethlisberger.
Of course, internally, I'm going to sit there and go if a couple things go right, the division's not that difficult. They might win at 9-8. I'm just saying.
I think the Ravens will be a lot better.
I think the Ravens are going to be good.
I'm looking forward to Arizona Vegas. When I look at the preseason, I almost do the reverse of what I do during the regular season. During the regular season, I look for the good teams. During the preseason, I look for the bad teams because they're the ones that are going to be less precious. They're going to play their guys. And also, they might be more open to, like, if a third stringer has a heck of a preseason game, they might go, let's just play that guy. And then on top of that, they usually have high draft picks. So, like, Fernando Mendoza is going to be exciting. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see what that is. Ashton Genty getting some run, if he does. I want to see what that is. Jeremiah Love, if they play him, although they didn't play him in the Hall of Fame game. But if they do, I want to see what that is. So, Arizona, Vegas is what I'm looking forward to tonight. And just football on the television. Just having it there, even if it's background noise. I'm looking forward to it. That's number two.
That's the thing we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, just
there it is.
It's just comforting, right? Just having it on the TV. It's good. That's number two. Let's get to number one.
Go one! I feel great about playing football right now.
I have to correct the wording on a lot of the conversations around Darren Waller and the Panthers. The Carolina Panthers have not signed Darren Waller.
They have not officially signed him, no.
Mike Kay, who just had a career change, now with ESPN, had been with the Observer. Mike Kay reporting the Panthers plan to sign tight end Darren Waller after their Saturday preseason game. So they are not going to sign him. He went through like the onboarding and physical stuff today, but they don't plan on officially signing him until after the preseason game. So don't think we're going to get our first look at Waller probably anytime soon.
No.
But I believe what that is due to is with roster restrictions, if there are guys you don't want to play, but you want to have bodies to rotate out there, and you're not going to play Darren Waller, don't have him take up a roster spot. Let those other guys have the roster, and who knows, maybe that means it's another offensive lineman you can have, so you don't have to overwork your second team. You can put an extra third stringer in there or whatever it is. But the writing is there. The writing is on the wall. Darren Waller is going to be joining the Carolina Panthers, which when he signs, what the semantics are, what the paperwork is, who cares? That's an interesting signing. I believe that they like to run their tight end group with three archetypes. They want a blocking first tight end. They want a combo that's kind of like your jack of all trades, maybe an elite at neither. And then they want a pass catching tight end. They were hoping, I believe, to have those roles filled by blocking mainly tight end Mitchell Evans. Not saying he can't catch passes, but at his size and his strength, he's going to be like an inline, a Y tight end, as we used to call. Tommy Tremble's the combo. Good player, solid, maybe not spectacular at anything, but just a player you like to have. And then Jatavian Sanders, I believe, was penciled in as the pass-catching tight end and had been penciled in there since he was drafted in the 4th round out of Texas in the 2024 draft. I think this Darren Waller move is them saying maybe we don't believe in Jatavian Sanders to fill that role as much as we hoped we would believe in him by this point. So if we can bring in a Darren Waller who has proven to the 10th degree that he can be an elite pass-catching tight end in the NFL, let's do that. So that's where I think it's coming from. I don't believe we're getting 2020 Raiders Darren Waller where he's going to have 100 catches and 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. I don't think we're getting that version of Darren Waller with the Panthers. But I do think there is a certain ceiling of his that is as good as almost any tight end out there from when it comes to getting open and making catches when he's healthy. Let's hear from Dave Canales, who spoke to the media about the signing. This is Canales on why they're bringing in Darren Waller.
I mean, just watching him over the years, he had a fantastic game here when they came last season and made some big plays against us. Again, just on brand with Dan and I, just looking for ways to challenge our roster, challenge our rooms, bring different types of talent into the rooms to really challenge the group and see what we have there. And we felt like it was a good fit. There was a lot of conversations back and forth about, just the vision and the group that he's coming into. So felt comfortable about that, found an agreement, and then we'll bring him in and do the physical and all that stuff shortly.
All good, all great. More from Canales. What he likes about Waller's skill set, this is what he said.
Really just the route craft. I remember evaluating him as a wideout coming out of Georgia Tech and then making the transition to tight end. It took him a couple of years to settle into the position, but he improved his route craft. He's fast. He's 6'6.5". So he really creates a dynamic possibility. And again, this is a competition. He knows that. He understands that's part of this deal and how we're trying to challenge our roster. So talked to him last night, and he's fired up to come here and to meet the guys.
6'6.5", played in the ACC. North Carolina. Sound like anybody? Michael Jordan?
I'm saying.
I'm just saying. He does play like a basketball player.
By the way, Darren Waller ran a 4.46 40.
I was just about to say.
Okay.
And even more impressive, a 1.57 10-yard split. So he is explosive, long, fast. Listen, I don't want to relitigate any of the things he's gone through off the field. The fact that he has had this many chances in the NFL, he's dealt with off-the-field discipline. He's dealt with some vices. He retired and started a rap career and then came back. The fact that teams keep taking bets on Darren Waller is because he is an immense physical talent. He is a that's different style athlete. 37-inch vert, we could go on and on. 10.5-inch broad jump, the dude can go.
He's built different.
And the question becomes, can he stay healthy? He is in his mid-30s. He is a player that has not played a full season in a while. Our best memories of him are over half a decade ago. But if you can get the best version of Darren Waller, he can really help your football team. I don't think he helps you for the next 3 years, but I think he can really help you this year if he can stay healthy. Trayvon Merrick, speaking of the best version of Darren Waller, I think most of us think of him as a Raider. Trayvon Merrick, current member of the Carolina Panthers, was a teammate of his on the Raiders, and this is what he had to say about the size-speed combo of Waller.
Yeah, it's different. Like you said, on tape you can see it. Obviously, he's very tall. He has a great wingspan. He's fast. He's strong. So, he has all the intangibles to make it hard on the defense. So, I'm glad he's going to be coming over here.
Trayvon Merrick would have been matched up with him a bunch, being a safety and practicing against that offense. So, he would know pretty darn well. Nobody knows athletes better than whoever guards them in practice because they just so much time. So much time. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, 30 seconds or less. What does Darren Waller do for the Panthers offense?
I think he's a prime red zone target. That's what I view him as. I think he's a prime red zone target. You don't have to play him on every down, but if you need certain passing situations, especially in the red zone, big-time target.
Darren Waller, expected to sign after this week's preseason game with the Carolina Panthers. That's the starting five, brought to you by the Baker family. Baker Family Roofing has roofed the Carolinas since 1915. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Always good work. BakerHomeExteriors.com. We need some numbers game contestants because we have a pair of tickets to the Rip X Card Show at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park, which takes place next month, September 26th and 27th. That pair of tickets will go to the winner. Call in now, 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and potentially win the card show tickets. Again, the phone number, 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
It's disgusting. It's annoying. If a billionaire tells you, hey, I just bought another yacht, are you like, wow, amazing, way to go? You're like, cool, rub it in. I don't have air conditioning. I don't think this is fun for other fans around Major League Baseball. The Dodgers can get anybody they want, and the worst part about this is a lockout is all but signed, sealed, delivered.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
A lot has changed since 1915. The way the Baker family treats people hasn't. They've roofed the Carolinas for over 100 years. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's kept that promise for generations. Baker Home Exteriors, always good work. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Longer days mean longer rides. Make sure your bike, your ATV, your side-by-side, even your golf cart are the best around. From sound station and security, we've got custom stereo systems, custom speakers, even video and LED lighting options for your bike, your ATV, and even your golf cart. Look the coolest on the road or at the lake, just tooling around. All available with installation from sound station and security, with 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Our contestants for today, that'll be battling it out for Rip X Card Show tickets. A pair will go to the winner. Our contestants are Tim in Wake Forest. I hope this isn't like a Black Mirror situation or something like that, because I am also a Tim from Wake Forest. We live in Wake Forest. And Sal in Morrisville is the second contestant on line 2. As always, we'll bring them each onto the show. We will ask them the same question, and Dennis will pick his favorite answer. He'll be the judge, and that person will get to go first, and we'll go from there. We'll start with Tim in Wake Forest. Tim, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, good. It's not me. Whew, that would have been weird. Tim in Wake Forest. The question for today, we teased this earlier. In honor of coming out of a commercial break, Dennis played a song that sometimes my wife and I do at karaoke. We're going to ask you this. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I gotta go Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It.
A great, great song. This Is How We Do It. I am a big fan. Some of my teammates in college remixed that song with their own little rap group, and we played it in the locker room way too much. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No questions.
All right, this is how we do it. Montel Jordan. Let's go to Sal in Morrisville. Sal, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Same question to you. What is your karaoke go-to?
Sweet Caroline.
Get the crowd into it. A classic. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No questions.
All right, then give us your choice. Are you rolling with This Is How We Do It or Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Caroline's a good one. Here's the key about karaoke. It's about getting people involved. That's what makes it fun, right? Sweet Caroline's a great one.
Different people have different goals. Some want everyone to hear them sing. Mm-hmm. Some, as soon as you start, you want everyone singing so they can't hear you sing. Like, everybody has different goals.
So Sweet Caroline is a great song for karaoke. Mm-hmm. But if someone comes in and drops This Is How We Do It on karaoke, I'm all in. I'm going Tim in Wake Forest on this one.
Tim in Wake Forest gets to go first. Sal, don't worry. You'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second. Tim, are you ready to pick your category?
I'm ready.
All right. Don't let the Tims down out there. The categories are NFL left-handed players. So these are all players that are left-handed. Major League Baseball left-handed players. NBA left-handed players. Or Hurricanes throughout history left-handed players. Today
I'm gonna
is,
go.
by the way, just to let you know, I was just informed of this. Apparently today is National Lefty Day, so that's why all categories are left-handed players. Now, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and make your choice.
That's cool. I'm a lefty myself, so
no way.
It's a good day to call in. Yep. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go NBA players.
Okay, NBA left-handed players. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn.
All right.
Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks.
8.
Incorrect. Julius Randle, Minnesota Timberwolves.
32.
Incorrect. Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks.
12.
Incorrect. Julius Randle, Minnesota Timberwolves.
13.
Incorrect. Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks.
11.
Correct. Domantas Sabonis, Sacramento Kings.
9.
Incorrect. Julius Randle, Minnesota Timberwolves. You got one. You avoided. I thought we were on the way for an offer, but you avoided it with the Jalen Brunson 11. 11 also would have worked for Sabonis. We would have accepted 10 or 11 there. Julius Randle with the Timberwolves, number 30. So 1 is your score. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line, okay?
All right.
All right, and that'll bring us to Sal in Morrisville. Sal, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. The categories are all left-handed players. So the ones remaining for you to choose from are NFL, MLB, or Carolina Hurricanes, all left-handed players.
I'll do the NFL.
NFL lefties. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need at least 2 for the win, but keep going even if you get 2. Do you have any questions before we get started?
I'm good.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Drake London, Atlanta Falcons.
5.
Correct. Steve Young, San Francisco 49ers.
8.
Correct. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Miami Dolphins.
21.
Incorrect. Creed Humphrey, Kansas City Chiefs.
12.
Incorrect. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Miami Dolphins.
24.
Incorrect. Creed Humphrey, Kansas City Chiefs.
Pass.
Des Bryant, Dallas Cowboys.
88.
Correct. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Miami Dolphins.
32.
Incorrect. Creed Humphrey, Kansas City Chiefs.
11.
Incorrect. Creed Humphrey's a center, by the way. You were not firing out there center numbers. But you got 3. That's plenty for the win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Minkah Fitzpatrick, we were looking for 29. Creed Humphrey, we were looking for 52. But you got Drake London, Steve Young, and Des Bryant, and that is plenty for the win. So enjoy the RipX card show. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your tickets. Ba, ba, ba. So good. So good. So good. All right. Sal in Morrisville, the winner. That's his karaoke song. I hope everyone else was doing the bop-bop-bas with me. That was the only... Sal didn't do it. Dennis didn't do it. I was just out here screaming by myself.
No, I did it. My mic wasn't on.
Oh, well.
I want to hear
if
you
a
do
tree falls in the woods...
I was singing Sweet Caroline. Last time I sang Sweet Caroline, belting it out loud, was in the Lenovo Center when the Canes won the Stanley Cup. When they were playing that in the arena,
that
place
works.
was going nuts.
That works. Sweet Caroline, good karaoke song. Sal, good run through the numbers game. And the tickets to the Rip Card Show, good card show. Everything's good right now. Quickly, this is going to be a side conversation, but it's one I've been thinking about all day. With the Jayden Daniels deal, which is we're going to talk about it in a second here. I actually think maybe cooler than having your number retired or your jersey retired at a school is if you are a legend or even a professional team, if you are like a true legend, telling the team, don't retire my number. I just want to have a relationship with whoever wears the number, and I want them to understand. I want the coaches to make sure the number isn't assigned to somebody who's not going to handle it well. And the reason why I brought it up here following the numbers game is the last player in the NFL category was Des Bryant, and he wore number 88. And what the Cowboys have going with number 88 is really cool, right? It was Drew Pearson, great legendary player. It was Michael Irvin, 88, great legendary player. CeeDee Lamb, Des Bryant, all wore number 88 for the Cowboys, all great legendary players. And none of them will have their jersey retired. None of them will have their number retired. The 88 Club has become a thing where it has to be out there, and because of that, we talk about them a lot more. I covered Syracuse football up in upstate New York for a little bit earlier in my career. There was a similar deal with number 44 for them. It was Jim Brown. It was Floyd Little. It was Ernie Davis. It was a number that wasn't retired. It was worn to honor it. And I think that's cooler, right? I think that's cooler. So, Jayden Daniels wants to see his number retired. I mean, I guess if you're competitive and you've seen other people have their numbers retired, you want a similar, respect or something like that. But if I were Jayden Daniels, I would call LSU and say, listen, before anybody's allowed to wear number 5, I would appreciate it if they have to call me, not to be like I will say whether they are worthy or not, but I just want to have a conversation with them about the fact that I take a lot of pride in the work that I did as number 5 at LSU, and I don't want anybody wearing it that isn't going to work as hard and try to be as into it as I am. I think that's cooler than having your jersey retired. And we could get into it more. I wore, for the years that I played at Delaware, I wore a bunch of numbers early on. When you're a walk-on, they give you jerseys and take them from you and a whole thing. But I wore number 9 for when I became somebody that the organization cared about. And I had it from so there was a player that was a teammate when I was wearing a whole bunch of different jerseys. Went on to play in the NFL. He wore number 9. His name was Anthony Walters. Claim to fame, he blocked for Devin Hester on a bunch of Devin Hester's NFL returns, which is pretty cool. But I remember when I took over number 9, he texted me and he just said, because we were friends, he didn't have to give me a big speech. He just said, don't bleep it up, right? If you're wearing 9, do something with it. And I remember thinking that was pretty cool. I remember thinking it's all right, got a little bit of pressure on me from a guy that I respected a bunch and did everything the right way. I want to do it too. I don't know. The jersey retired thing is I think it's kind of corny, if I'm being real. Especially when other players show up and they want to wear a single digit and they can't because 4 of them are retired and 6 are worn by seniors, and you got to be all right, fine. It's let them have the same, it just looks cooler to be a single digit. It's sleeker. You look fast. If they want to wear a single digit, let them wear a single digit. The Yankees can frustrate the heck out of me because they're going to have to start going to 108. They're going to have to go to triple-digit numbers because they have so many retired numbers. I think it would be much cooler if Derek Jeter was no, let him wear 2, but I want it to be real. I'm going to make sure number 2 isn't on any jabronis out there. 88 for the Cowboys is really, really cool. That club is awesome, and I wish there was more of that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of Jayden Daniels, you may be saying, Tim, why are you making a big deal out of retiring a jersey? I'm not the one making the big deal out of it. Jayden Daniels is the one making the big deal out of it, and I'll explain what that means in a second. But first, Dennis Cox has a message for you.
Hey, everyone. Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Loan Pronto. If you have a 2, 3, or even 4% mortgage rate, don't worry about refinancing it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000. They paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash that you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, looks at a ridiculous decision by an NFL quarterback. Next.
Move your sports day forward.
Carolina Panthers, it's not just keep pounding, but keep fighting. I love a good training camp fight. It's better to get that stuff out of the way now than during the regular season when it costs you 15 yards in a good situation. It also shows to the league you want to be a physical team, when a couple of years ago you were being questioned about it.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
With over $110 million in total prizes, new scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are dazzling the crowd. Get quick wins from Hit 50, Cash, Loteria Grande, and The Star. Massive cash blowout, bursting with $150, $300, and $3,000 prizes. Play and watch your luck shine. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.86 to 9.37. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Great song. I don't even want to say underrated because I think everybody that knows it is like, that's a banger, but great song for getting a party started. Great song. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, I got to rip the Band-Aid off and just stop it, because if not, I'm going to listen to the whole song. We're just going to be sitting here letting Montel Jordan take over the airwaves. There you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, because I do have to tell you where the show is going to be tomorrow. We are on location at Wake Forest High School, Trentini Stadium at Wake Forest High School, for the high school OT Jamboree. That is tomorrow, Friday, August 14th. We'll be live on location leading up to a 4-game high school football Jamboree. Think of it as like preseason high school football. They get together, they scrimmage. There are 4 games at 6. It's going to be Warren County versus Wilson Prep. 7, Franklinton versus South Johnson. 8, Wake Forest, Cardinal Gibbons. And then 9, Garner and Northern Nash. We've done the whole thing where we look at all the recruits. There's a bunch of them. There's some really, really good players involved in these contests. We're going to be there. If you see us, come out and say hi. I'll be doing the coin toss for, I believe, the 6 o'clock game. So nice. Be out there hanging out. Should be a really fun thing. The energy around any football team at any level during preseason is special. All of these teams are 0-0, right? The sky is the limit. They're all going to win state. Just ask them. And also, this is one of the first times they're going to get to hit somebody that's wearing a different color uniform, right? They've been bashing heads with their own teammates for training camp. The first time you kind of get to go out there and really measure yourself, it's fun. So high school OT, Jamboree, tomorrow, Wake Forest High School. And also, if you plan on going, if you're hearing this and going, oh, that'd be fun, I really want to check that out. Or, oh, there's somebody I know on one of these teams and I want to go support them, go to high school OT ahead of time, like now, and buy your tickets. The last Jamboree that high school OT held was, of course, at Wake Med Soccer Park. What do they have, like 10,000 seats there? less at Wake Forest High School.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll fill up, and you want to have your tickets. You want to make sure you're good. Just buy them ahead of time at highschoolot.com.
Especially since Wake Forest is hosting, and they're going to have a lot of their own people there, too.
Mm-hmm. And I'll also give you just one more deal here. Clear bag policy. I'm just trying to save you a walk back to the car. You know, if you roll up there with the big backpack, you're going to have to turn around, go right back to your car, and clear bag policy is in effect. So there you go.
And hydrate, people.
It's supposed to be hot tomorrow?
It'll be hot. Oh, yeah.
I'll start hydrating as well. There you go. That's the nuts and bolts of that conversation. In the meantime, let's have – I don't even know if it's fun. We need to address the ridiculousness of an NFL situation / college football situation.
Bruh.
Jayden Daniels is the quarterback of the Commanders. Big season for him, by the way. After his first year, he was probably seen as the top quarterback in his draft class. Second year, he's hurt a bunch. Washington doesn't live up to the hype. Drake May makes it to the Super Bowl. Caleb Williams has a good year. Maybe he's fallen a little bit, right? So he's got a big year, got to prove that his rookie wasn't a fluke. So what is he worried about in training camp? Well, of course, he's worried about the fact that LSU is letting a defensive back wear the jersey number that he wore at LSU. All right, that's the big thing. He's worried about it so much that he's lawyered up, and he's sending a cease and desist to the team he played for in college, LSU, saying, you don't get to use my name, image, and likeness anymore. To be clear, legally, it's not because they're letting someone else wear his number. The way it's being reported is that he's so upset about the number that he is now going to enforce the fact that they don't own his name, image, and likeness as a almost repercussion or a punishment for them not honoring him and respecting him by not letting anyone else wear the number 5 at LSU. Some believe it has something to do with the fact that number 9 hasn't been worn by LSU since Joe Burrow wore it. There's been some reporting that says, no, it has nothing to do with Joe Burrow. He just doesn't want the number being worn. I don't like this by Jayden Daniels. It screams soft to me by Jayden Daniels. It screams something that you might be bitter about in private, like, oh, that's messed up. I won the Heisman. I should be respected more. But publicly, you can't do what he's doing. You can't do what he's doing. Like even this, I'm sure Jayden Daniels, if he wanted to, could get the director of football ops from LSU on the phone and can say, like, man, this isn't cool. And that's about as far as he could take it and without me criticizing him for it. I think he could set something up where he's like, hey, if you're going to wear number 5, I want to talk to you. I think he could set something up where he's like, hey, if you're going to wear number 5, I want to sponsor you an NIL. How about that? I'll give you $10,000, but you better be on your P's and Q's. I don't know. It screams soft, like respect me. What was the
look at me? Yeah.
Like, I am a big deal is what you're screaming. And I've never seen anyone come across cool, likable, as somebody I want to be friends with while they're yelling, I'm a big deal. If you wanted to have your jersey retired, I don't know, win a national championship. And if you couldn't, sorry. You tried your best. If your teammates weren't good enough, your teammates cost you the ability to have your jersey retired. I don't like, if you want to be treated like Joe Burrow, you got to do the things that Joe Burrow did. You both won a Heisman. You both didn't win a national championship. It's weird. It's weird. And to do all of this while you're in training camp trying to be an NFL quarterback is weird. And even if somebody else on his team is doing it, because I'm seeing that, right? Like, oh, it was his manager or his mom. He has a business relationship with his mom as well. She manages his career. It's his mom or it's this. That's what some people are blaming. I would go, no legal, nothing on your behalf legally can happen without coming across your eyes. And if somebody were to put that across my eyes in the middle of one of the most important seasons of my life, I would simply say, don't do that. Get it out like that. What are you doing? Who cares if someone wears my jersey in college? Who cares? The irony of saying, like, LSU is using my name, image, and likeness but they're not respecting me. It's like, do you think they use the name, image, and likeness of bad players? Like, they're only the only reason you're in their advertisements or their marketing or whatever is because they understand you're a great player that played for them. Trust me, if you sue them or cease and desist them from using your image, guess what? They're going to stop using your image. And then you're going to be forgotten. Then when people wear number 5, they're not going to go like, oh, wow, they're wearing Jayden Daniels' number. They're just going to go, that guy's wearing number 5. I don't get it. It comes across as soft to me. Also, I'm upset by this. I don't like that Lane Kiffin is the one that I guess I'm on his side. So Jayden Daniels, you have to act in a way that I never have to be on Lane Kiffin's side.
Feels gross saying that.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like, we're not buddies in this, me and Lane Kiffin, but I guess technically I am on the same side of the argument as Lane Kiffin. Do you know what it's too close to? It's too close to being on the same side as Will Wade. Like, I don't want to be in that neighborhood, Jayden Daniels, so you get it together so I can be on your side. And as I said earlier with the 88 for the Cowboys thing, I think it's cooler that jerseys stay in rotation. I don't think you need to have jerseys retired to honor a player. I think you can wear jerseys to honor a player.
Did Tim Tebow's number get retired at Florida?
I'm sure it
15?
did. 15's an easier number to retire, though, because not many people want it.
Yeah.
Or actually, there's a cool video online for the USA basketball where when they get their jerseys, they get like a duffel bag to keep their stuff. And on the tag, it lists all the other players that wore that number for Team USA.
That's cool.
And they're like, oh, Jordan and Clyde Drexler and and Tim Hardaway, and they get all excited about you see Anthony Davis getting excited that he's wearing like Hakeem and Patrick Ewing's jersey number or whatever it is, Hakeem and David Robinson's jersey number. And I'm just like, that's cool. That's what it should be. Your locker with your jersey number you should know who you're honoring by wearing it. Don't retire it. Honor them by wearing it and playing well. That's about going to do it for us here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Coming up to start the show, or to start Overdrive, which is our secondary show, NC State, are they going to win 10 games? Are they going to do it? Dave Doeren thinks so. I give you 2 reasons why they will and 2 reasons why they won't, if either of those happen. And we also have a look back on the Panthers 2024 draft. Tomorrow, we are out at the Jamboree, High School OT. Get your tickets, highschoolot.com ahead of time. Don't say I didn't warn you when you're in a big line tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everybody. See ya.
Excuse me, you think you could spare a square?
Sorry, what?
A square on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, for the 99.9 The Fan app.
Exactly. Listen to your favorite hosts, teams, and live sports action.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere.
Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Yeah, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical.